in your shot right now a while ago, together with this Parliament, Right Honorable Michael Kwe, and we also saw the Asantehine's spouse in right there once again. There they are, beautifully representing Asanteman and the Parliament of Ghana. And we see the arrival of, I believe this will be the Vice President arriving. And so the parade commander had to call the parade to attention.
Exactly. Whenever any dignitary arrives, the parade commander will have to call the parade to attention to pay compliments. It's a mark of respect. And what we say in everyday parlance, greetings. So you pay compliments whenever a dignitary arrives on parade.
Last year, on the 62nd occasion, Ghana celebrated the independence. The president of Niger was the guest of honor. This time is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. What do we know about him briefly, Silicon?
We are expecting this, and he is expected to be our guest of honor for the 63rd independence anniversary.
And this is the arrival of the Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Dr. Alhaji Mahmudu Bawumia. He became Vice President of the Republic on the 7th of January in the year 2017. Before then, he had worked in the financial sector. At one point, was a deputy governor of the Bank of Ghana, and he also worked in other African countries as a banker. The Vice President of the Republic, and the national anthem will now be played.
National salute. Out.
And then we have a short version of the national anthem. Commander, you may want to explain to us why we have the national anthem not played even up to the halfway.
Please be seated.
When we have the president on parade, he takes the full anthem, and so the vice takes an abridged version. This has been a tradition that we have observed over the years, and so that is basically to tell you that the full anthem will be played in due course, and that is when the president arrives.
All right, and we've even seen with the Yenara's assassinee, sometimes security personnel do not give the full version. Is it similar to?
It's similar to that. It's similar to that. So normally when you have a more senior person coming, you give an abridged version to those who come ahead. That's if they are entitled. So once the president will be coming, he will be taking the full anthem when he arrives. But if you don't mind, I can give a brief profile of the adjutant. Yes. The parade adjutant for today is Lieutenant Commander Jabbar Kofi Bentel. He attended T.I. Ahmadiyya Secondary School here in Kumasi, and during his time he was an assistant hall prefect. He commissioned in 2010 into the executive branch of the Ghana Navy. He's also held several appointments, but time will not allow me to go through. Yes. So all I'll say is that he's currently the executive officer, that's a 2IC, on board the Ghana Navy ship Ya Asantua. He's also had an experience with peacekeeping. But let me add that he holds a bachelor's degree in biological science from the University of Cape Coast and a diploma in law enforcement from the Maneuver Support Center in Missouri, United States. On 7 December 2019, the parade adjutant graduated from the Indian Naval Gunnery School as a gunnery specialist on naval weapon system, and he was adjudged the best international student, and he also won the overall best student in the order of merit. He enjoys volleyball, badminton, and cycling. He is riding the horse Daru, which is also known as Kings, and Daru is 18 years old, and this is his 8th time on parade.
All right, and of course the Vice President arrived a while ago. We've seen other dignitaries. That Santehene himself is also here. The Speaker of Parliament is here as well. But the guest for this occasion, the guest of honor is the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. And Selicam, you were telling us briefly about him.
PNM since May 2010 and was leader of the opposition from 2010 to 2015. He has also served as the member of the House of Representatives from Diego Martin West since 1991. He is a volcanologist who obtained his doctorate in geology, specializing in geochemistry, and of course, Honorable Christopher Rowley arrived in Ghana yesterday together with his spouse and will be gracing the occasion here.
Yes, of course, and it's a beautiful morning here in Kumasi. The clouds have not exactly gathered, and so there's no threat of rain, but the sun is also not scorching, and that means that this is a beautiful weather for the students, but also for all the security personnel who have gathered here. Last year, when it was held in Tamale, the sun was very scorching, and we had a few of those who were on the field to march collapsing, and some were even caught on camera while that happened. We hope that that does not happen here today, because the weather is very friendly. And that brings me, Commander, when you have events like this, how prepared are we to handle cases where sometimes not out of their fault, but situations arise and people just collapse? Do you prepare for these eventualities?
Yes, we do. And so we have health posts.
And that is right there, the wife of the Vice President with her husband. Of course, we told you about his arrival later. We just spotted Hajia Samira Baumia a while ago there, and so she's fully representing on the 63rd occasion.
Yes, we prepare for such eventualities, and this being a national parade, we have NADMO having personnel around to pick anybody who falls. Falling is part of the drill. Sometimes you just can't help it, and then you might fall due to so many things, maybe ill health, sometimes exhaustion. So yes, we have health posts there and persons around to pick them anytime somebody should fall.
We have a lot of people who are sending in comments from across the country, including ministers of state and former ministers of state as well. Honorable Daniel Syme says he's enjoying every bit of the education you are giving out to him right now. He's the former Deputy Upper East Regional Minister, as well as others. And thanks to the whole of Ghana for hooking up to the station of the nation, the station that brings you authentic information. This is GBC, and we are getting ready to receive the President of the Republic, and once the President arrives, the parade will begin. But we are in Asanteman, of course, and so we have Teacher Kantanka. Teacher Kantanka is a researcher for the Mansha Palace, and he's here himself. We have been talking about the Asanteman and the history of the Ashantis in particular, and their contribution to Ghana's independence. And I particularly mentioned Yasantua, great woman in all respects. But we were at the museum of Yasantua. It's nothing to write home about. Yasantua is a few kilometers from Kumasi, and yet it's nothing to write home about. You are a historian, you speak for Mansha. Are you aware of the state of that museum?
Yeah, very much aware, but that museum is in the hands of the government. So we have the Mansha Museum, which is controlled by the king himself, and that is where the difference is. You know, the government has a lot on its hands, and so to go and look at museum, maybe that would be the last thing to look at. That is all the more reason why maybe it is in that state.
Right. On occasions like this, and I'm sure when the president is coming, we're going to see that when Otumfuo was coming, we saw that even on the arrival of some of the dignitaries as well as the senior security personnel, we saw horses accompany them into the premises, and you were even mentioning names of horses. How significant are horses in parades such as these, but also in the general activities of the security agencies in the country?
The use of horses dates back to medieval times. Before we had cars, royals rode on horses, and anytime royals visited other persons, they were always protected. So the horses have been used since time immemorial. So they are very significant and a part of military drill. You know, most of our drills and our traditions, we took them from history. And so they have always been part. Before we had cars, before we had mobile phones, horses were used for communication and for so many other things, for patrols. And so we do not want to leave those history behind. And so they are also part of the parade. And they play very, very important parts.
And there is a cross-section of Ghanaians there, but I can also tell you that across the Ashanti region, all district chief executives, all assembly members from all the districts are here, very well representing. And you can see that this is the stadium, 40,000 capacity Kumasi Sports Stadium. There's the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, and almost every seat has been filled to capacity. On the sidelines and the peripheries of the stadium, you will still find hundreds, perhaps thousands of people doing businesses of all sorts. Those who are selling food and those particularly selling paraphernalia are cashing in. The economic activities in Kumasi, we cannot describe it. Selikem has already told us about that, but you've seen children coming in. When we're taking a stroll around the stadium early this morning, you saw some of the children and you saw the excitement on their faces. What does it tell you about the relocation, so to speak, of activities such as a national event like this one to Kumasi and other places?
It's very significant for people living in other parts of the country, especially outside of the capital, when we begin to relocate these events, because then it draws attention to the fact that Ghana is made up of just more than the capital. There's a lot more going on outside the capital. And what this tends to do is that it brings into sharp focus the history behind the specific regions, the nature, the culture, the people, and the assets of the region as well, including tourism. So I think that this is good for us, as it brings some exposure. And for school children, this is always an exciting feel. This morning by 6 a.m. they were already trooping in, and some of them were seated by as early as 5:30 a.m. I was surprised to see them seated in the stands and waving their flags even when the parade hadn't begun. So that tells you the level of exciting, but it is a historic event to have to take place outside Accra for the second time.
And we're still getting so many messages from across the country, for very high profile Ghanaians as well, telling us they are listening to the commentary and watching their television sets, and they're hooked onto GBC's channels as well. And those who are also listening to us on radio, we thank you for choosing GBC. This is where you get all the authentic information from. So we're waiting for the arrival of the president, but when he arrives, then what?
Yes, upon the arrival of the president, the parade commander will and ask permission, and then His Excellency will inspect the contingents on parade.
This is the president of the prime minister. The prime minister. Exactly, the prime minister of the Republic of, and he will take.
These are physically challenged persons, students who were not left out of the fun.
emphasizes the fact that disability is not inability, because they were also able to stay in the sun and they came early, they've done their rehearsals, and they are showing off what they are able to do.
That is NAPCO.
NAPCO.
Yes, Nation Builders Corps. And right behind NAPCO, we have Ahafo region.
That's a beautiful shot. Best eye view of the entire event. 63rd Ahafo region is here to celebrate the 63rd Independence Day as well. And again, we have a list of those who will be marching past before the security agencies take their turn. These are traditional organizations also. This is the Ahafo region. Ahafo region was created a little over a year ago, about 1.5 years ago, I believe, when in December 2018, Ghanaians went to the polls to decide through a referendum for the creation of more regions. The Bono region, the Ahafo region, the Bono region ably represented here as well. So we had the Bono region being created, then the Bono East, of course, Ashanti region has always existed since independence.
And the capital of the Ahafo region is Goso, as well as the Bono.
The Bono East region is Techiman. So we see the beauty of the Ghanaian kente, of course, once again in display. These are the masqueraders.
Central regional masqueraders, Central region masqueraders. Obviously, you can tell from the activity.
And it's amazing how unique things can be attributed to groups in Ghana. As soon as I saw the masqueraders, even without having to read the banner, that's 80%. And because they have a special festival, especially in Winneba, where you have these things happening.
You have the Manya Probo cultural troupe also coming in, and of course, typically represented of them in their beats. And headgear, the beads, the way the cloth is worn. That is the Manya Probo cultural troupe. Masqueraders once again inside. Normally you see them pop up during the holiday season. Oh, and we have the Greater Accra region.
Okay, so it means that all the regions across the country are here to showcase what they have in terms of culture and in terms of their unique identities. We are being told currently the 40,000 capacity Baba Yara Stadium is filled up. There is no longer space to accommodate anybody. Can you believe that more than 40,000 people have already arrived at the stadium every seat at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium is occupied as we speak, and around on the peripheries of the stadium, a lot of people have come together here. The police are pleading with people in the Ashanti region, those who are not here, to stay home and enjoy the scenes from the comfort of their homes, to enjoy the comfort of their...
Well, thank you very much for the opportunity. I would like to plead with our people in Kumasi that whoever wants to come to the stadium right away would plead with the person to stay at home and watch it on TV. It's streaming live on GTV. The stadium is full to capacity. We're pleading with the general public. The peripheries, as the commentator said, is also full. We don't want to record any stampede. Therefore, whoever is yet to come to the stadium should please stay at home and watch it on television. Thank you very much. I am ASP Godwin Ahianyo, the PR of the Ghana Police Service.
That's the Manya Krobo cultural troupe. There once again, overhead shots. They typically in their waist, high waist bustling headgear. This should be coming from northern Ghana, the northern region of one of the regions represented. That is the northern region represented in the smoke. So every region here is regions being showcased to the world. The President, His Excellency Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is in the company of his wife, the First Lady Rebecca Akufo-Addo, seated to his left and to his right as special guest of honor for the 63rd Independence Day celebrations. His Excellency Honorable Dr. Christopher Rowley and his wife who are here. And up next, we are seeing the OT region being showcased. The capital of the OT region is Dambai, and that is the OT region. The OT region was carved out of the Volta region, and that is the interesting one. I see that their eyes are covered. I hope, but this is well rehearsed, so they know exactly what they're doing. And the upper west region in their smokes there. Oh yes, and typical fire display.
Yes, this display of like spiritual prowess and culture as well, all combined in one. It's about time we began also to look at, as we talk about heritage, especially within the month of March, the month of independence, that we begin to look at the beautiful aspects of our traditional beliefs as well, so that our love for Christianity and for Islam does not make us do away with many of our traditions.
Especially the preservation of our culture in the face of taking on other Western culture and abandoning what is truly ours.
Okay.
That's the Savannah region. In your show, the capital of Savannah region is Damongo.
Savannah region, of course, one of the regions that was recently carved out of the northern region. The Savannah region as well as the northeast region were carved out of the then northern region to make way for easy administration of that region, because it was extremely huge, and past regional ministers had a difficulty administrating a large region such as that, and they are here, Savannah region, Butchers and Livestock Farmers Association. These are a group of people who have contributed to the nutrition needs of Ghanaians, and indeed under the watch of President Akufo-Addo, they have a policy, the raring for food and jobs, and these groups of people and the railway line are here as well. And recently we've seen the construction of a railway line ongoing from our Mpakadam through to Tema and other areas in the country, and it's exciting to know that that is being revived as well. The masqueraders, of course, always on parade. The Volta region, the region that recently gave birth to the Uti region, it's here also displaying their unique identity, their culture, and some bobo dance as well. You cannot miss Volta. So there's no way. Sally, I'm sure you identify with it.
I do identify with it. The Volta region, the bobo dance, and it's done in a special fashion, because it might look very easy, but if you don't take care, you can't twist the handkerchiefs around and get it moving throughout the dance. Interesting to see our rich culture in diversity being displayed.
Thank you, Mr. President, for the Keita port. Saw that a while ago. 63 years of independence, 63 years of the name Ghana. But people have said that after 63 years, what gains have we made as a people? All too often, we have tended to look at the negative stories and failed all too often to see the positives that Ghana has made, the positive marks and gains that Ghana has made in the last 63 years. Internationally, Ghana is acclaimed as an icon of peace and a beacon of democracy. And so there are times that I believe, Teacher Kantanka, that we must pause to reflect not just on the negatives, but also on the many, many positive things that have happened to Ghana in the last 63 years.
Yes, that we are united cannot be left out. It is only unfortunate that occasionally lack of knowledge makes some politicians make statements which divide us. But this is enough to tell us that what is important is to make sure that all that we do is towards unity.
Yes,
Asante has always been at the center of culture, not because they are the only people with culture. All have their culture, and today we have seen culture displayed from all regions. The culture here is strong and maintained because they were the last to be colonized. Those at the coast had theirs a bit adulterated just because they had opportunity, if you like, to associate themselves with a European group. Type of culture in them. We are told that the people here did not want independence. This we must learn that is not true, because Ashanti had to give up its own independence to join the coastal people, that is the Gold Coast, to attain independence. Before Ghana's independence, Ashanti was an independent nation. It was rather the Gold Coast that was under the British control. And when the time came for the Gold Coast to demand their independence, Ashanti met and decided that no, we cannot have our independence when our brothers don't have theirs. So let's drop our independence, join them as a one nation, call ourselves also Gold Coast. So Ashanti became part of the Gold Coast and they fought for their independence. So that is a big sacrifice.
The 63rd Independence Day parade here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. Just heard Teacher Kantanka, who is a historian at the Menchia Palace, tell us that contrary to some historical narratives that the Ashanti Kingdom at the time did not want Ghana to be independent, that indeed they joined the rest of the people of the then Gold Coast to strive and to fight for the attainment of independence. And so whoever has that narrative, you must begin to revise your notes at this point in time. We are still seeing various groups. These are nurses groups showing what stuff they are also made of, participating actively here at this independence. These are fruit sellers and producers. Everyone, all people from all walks of life are here and they are fully participating in this event. And what excites me about this is Selikem, the patriotism. Nobody is being paid for taking part in this parade. Everyone here is doing that on the basis of volunteerism. And so it means that the Ghanaian can volunteer. The Ghanaian can offer service for free. The Ghanaian is patriotic. The Ghanaian, or 2432 right there, sitting in state together with his wife and other dignitaries from the Ashanti Kingdom. And so I was talking about the spirit of the Ghanaian when the right atmosphere is created for him. You don't agree with me?
Exactly. It's important for us to acknowledge that we have an identity. That identity is something that cannot be taken away from us. No matter how globalized we are, being the Ghanaian you are, with the language you speak and where you come from makes you you. And it is protecting our land, our natural resources, our assets, and defending what we have. And there you have in your short the Kayaye who have just come in.
We were telling you earlier about the Kayaye.
Just before them, bushmeat sellers just gone by, but you see the Kayaye.
And for those who may not be
they
familiar,
do not need a banner. Yeah. They by their headpans you can tell what they are and who they are and what they trade in.
Yes, these are the Bushmeat Sellers Association. These are not just ordinary meat sellers, but they are the bushmeat. That's the first time I'm having to know that there's an association of bushmeat sellers, and it's exciting to see this association. Then it means that the bushmeat industry can be regularized and regulated. I beg your pardon. That's because anybody kills anything and calls it bushmeat. But once they have an association, I'm sure that they will ensure that we have wholesome meat coming from Ghanaian bushes.
And it also raises the point of having minority groups involved in whatever you're doing, and no matter how little the group is or no matter how small the business community is, it is represented here.
Let's now look at the Kayaye, and for those who are not familiar with the word Kayaye or Kayayo, simply refers to a girl who carries items on the head. It's headquarters around markets in Ghana, and there is a strong advocacy to help these girls and take them off the streets, give them something more dignifying to do than carry items on their heads like that. I'm sure they are here to make a statement, and these are young pupils from different schools here displaying what they hope to become in future. In Ghana, most children want to either become doctors or lawyers or nurses, and we are seeing that these are our future leaders, exactly. And the president This is an elderly person. Okay, so and you found us laughing there. It's a relief. It's a comic relief. So, Commander, we have the Veterans Administration Ghana. Yes. The Veterans Administration Ghana. At this point, I'll go back to Teacher Kantanka to take some comments from Teacher Kantanka. Teacher Kantanka, you were telling us about the veterans, the war that was fought, the Second World War. What actually led to that war, and why did people from the then Gold Coast participate in that war?
The Second World War, which started in 1939 and ended in 1945, was sparked by Germany. I think at a point in time, Germany wanted to control the world, and they started taking control over the neighboring states around Europe. So the world was alarmed, and the whole world decided to stop Germany from that act. And Ghana was part of Britain. That is, Britain was our colonial master, so wherever they went, we had to go with them. So people were recruited from here to fight at different fronts to liberate us from the German control. That is where we had these veterans coming from. After the war, the pensioned soldiers organized themselves into an association called Veterans Association. It is this same veteran who marched to the castle to demand some rights from the colonial master, where three of them were shot, and that sparked the independence struggle.
And the three were Sergeant Ajete, Corporal Atipo, and Private Odati Lamte. The president conferring with his guest of honor, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago. Seated to the left of the president, of course, is his wife, the First Lady, Mrs. Rebecca Ekufu-Addo. And so presently we are seeing the military setup.
Yes, those are the physical training instructors who are setting the stage for their physical training display. But before then, let me just add something little to what Teacher Kantaka said. The veterans, those who fought in the Second World War, most of them are very weak or have passed on. And so those on parade were persons who have participated in most of our peacekeeping missions. So most of the veterans could not march today because of their age.
Yeah.
Yes.
All right, so again, a snapshot of the beautiful scenes of Ghanaians. President J.A. Kufuor, he made it here as well. President J.A. Kufuor was president of the Republic of Ghana from 2001 until he handed over in 2009 to the late Professor J.E.A. Mills, who had won the elections in the year 2008, and the General Secretary of the New Patriotic Party, John Boyju, a while ago, conferring with some security personnel.
And of course, the theme for this year's Independence Day celebration is consolidating our gains as a people. We are looking back on how far we have come, the fact that we've been able to maintain a peace and unity in diversity, regardless of the fact that Ghana speaks 76 different languages, has 76 different languages. We still have that unity in diversity, and unity in diversity in terms of culture, in terms of other things, as well as our way of doing things. And this year we are focusing on consolidating our gains. What are our gains as a people, and how are we bringing this to bear together as a people? How are we putting our wheels to the shoulder to make our nation great and strong and maintain the peace.
In many events organized by the military, and I've seen military officers display and show what stuff they are made of. I've seen displays and events organized by cultural groups and how beautifully they can display the culture of Ghana and the diversity of Ghana, but never have I seen such a mix of all activities, whether cultural, religious, and military, and school children come together to provide such a beautiful scene. This is the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, and we have already told you, we heard from the police PRO of the Ashanti region himself a while ago. The stadium is already filled to capacity. They are unable to accept any new entrants, and he has urged all those who are not yet here to remain at home and watch the proceedings on TV, because there's no longer space to accommodate anybody at the stadium here, and that tells you the extent to which the people are excited about the relocation of this year. But this is a beautiful display of some Ghanaian dancers.
And from the northern belt of our country is the Bamaya dance, which is performed solely by men. This dance was first performed in the early 19th century to mark an end to a protracted drought that hit most parts of the Dogon state in the northern region. Like Tora and Takai, Bamaya has several segments with its own name. And perform in unity. From the Ewe ethnic group located in the southeastern part of Ghana. And this is one of the oldest traditional dances of the Ewe group. Originally a war dance performed after battle when the warriors returned to the village. the Center for National Culture in Kumasi. The trainers are Berima Esumedu-Sechi, the Regional Director for the Center for National Culture, Mustafa Isa, Head of Performing Arts Department of the Center, Kofi Obeng Onyina, the Sectional Head, and Julius Yaukwansa, the Acting Dance Instructor and Choreographer.
And that was a performance from
Next,
the
we shall have
Center
military
for
physical
National
training
Culture.
display.
And the military will now show us their physical training display. So again, what's the significance of such a display on an occasion such as this? But again, anytime we have these scenes, I cannot resist the temptation just to express my own excitement and admiration for the beauty. You can see the diversity. Even though you find a lot more people in Kente, and this is where we have the military people coming in.
Exactly. Physical fitness is #1 requirement of every military person. And so for those who will be interested in joining the military in future, if you are not fit, please, you are out of the question. And these are physical training instructors. And so they will have to be extra fit, more than the average military person. There are some displays that you would see here and you think it's very easy. If you want to try it, you end up breaking your limbs or your neck. And so I would advise children in their homes that never to try it. So it's just to show to the whole world the fitness level of the Ghana Armed Forces. And also to let you know that some tasks may not be that simple, but with constant training, you can easily overcome them.
Particularly in Tamale, we saw, and that picture went viral after the 6th of March 2019, when we saw that military person jump through a ring of fire without scratching himself. That picture went viral after the 6th of March on that day.
Then I think you should stand by for more of such pictures.
Okay, so these are the physical trainers.
Yes, so that is their leader. He just come to ask permission for them to commence. And so that is the prone lying and thigh support. So those on the chairs have thigh support and those in front have prone lying. And then
wow.
We have shoot through and split to sit. That was there a while ago. And that was the backward roll and forward roll out of chair act. So that is backward roll forward out of the chair, and then forehead spring and backward roll to sit. It looks very simple, but it's not that simple.
Can imagine the hours of rehearsal that had to go into doing this, because as an individual you may be able to do it alone, but to do it together with others and in unison would demand a lot of practice and rehearsal. I just saw what happened there. Yes. And it's almost like marching while still engaging in some form of exercise.
Yes.
And they are doing it to precision and timing.
Yes, back band lift and handspring in pairs. That's what we are watching now. Bend back lifts and handspring in pairs.
So these are the personnel,
the physical training instructors
who train
the military personnel.
The military personnel.
Yes, and they are military personnel themselves.
Commander, did you go through this?
Oh yes, every military personnel goes through.
You did this?
I may not know. I didn't necessarily do it because I am not a PTI. So the PT course is also a core.
And the crowd went ecstatic over this one.
Because it's pretty.
Yes,
very nice.
It was very nice. But if there was a mistake there, you can imagine the kind of pain it would have caused the receiver of that mistake.
Exactly.
And so, and this is where the warning comes in. Do not try this at home. You need to be an expert to be able to try some of these stunts that the military personnel here are displaying. The president obviously
the president's excited
with what we've seen. He's the commander-in-chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. If this is what it takes to join the military, no wonder I'm a journalist. I could never have joined the military.
Oh, you can with determination. I believe everything in life is about determination. And most of us go without having any idea, but with determination, one can sail through. But it's difficult, I must admit. So that's one phase of the display. And now we are having the individual displays. So that's a freestyle display by the physical instructors. And the aim is to test their ability and agility.
And the response from the crowd is... So at this level, you as a physical trainer on this stage, you come and do whatever you feel like doing?
But they've rehearsed, so you know which one you are doing and which the other person is doing. So that we can have a variety of them.
Wow. Do not try this at home. You will feel dizzy. I'm already feeling dizzy on his behalf. I feel dizzy on his behalf, really. That was amazing. That was amazing. Again, shots from the Baba Yara Sports Stadium in Kumasi, filled to capacity stadium. Ghanaians are enthusiastic about Ghana. The people of Kumasi are enthusiastic about Ghana, and they're excited that this honor has been done them. The national parade has been brought to their doorsteps, and currently the physical trainers of the Ghana Armed Forces on display, showing us what stuff they are made of. And if you have ideas of joining the military, perhaps these are some exercises you may be psyching yourself up for.
Exactly. You may have to take part in some of these, especially if you're a physical training instructor. If you join the physical training instructors, then you would have to necessarily take part. The next is horse work. And I'll leave the description to you.
Horse work.
Horse work.
Okay, so when you said horse work, I was looking out for where the horses were. But I'm not seeing horses. I'm seeing men jump over
what looks like a horse.
What looks like a horse. Yes. And so this is what to ensure that if you meet any obstacle, you will be able to scale over.
Cross it easily. Yes. So that is face vault on and off. Then we have the through vault and astride vault.
Right.
It's all part of it.
Of course, Asantino 82, Otumfo 82, the second, also admiring the scenes here. He must be a very proud king at the moment. He's here admiring and observing events as they unfold. The scenes here are so beautiful. The cameras will not be able to bring every thing to you in your homes, but we'll try to give you as much as we can. This is still the armed forces, the Ghana Armed Forces, displaying some skills. These are physical trainers, and Commander Veronica Ahen, who is here in commentary position with me, has been warning us that we should not try this at home. This is for experts. If you are not one, do not try it. You may end up hurting yourself. Selikam, did you ever dream of engaging in any of these exercises?
Absolutely not. It appears that even this one was well rehearsed over and over again. It takes a lot of effort and skill to have to get to this point of perfection.
Wow.
This is just admirable, and you can just hear the crowd appreciate the display, the physical display.
Of course, the Ghana Armed Forces, noted as one of the best around the world on many UN peacekeeping missions. The reports have indicated that the Ghana Armed Forces have been very professional and meticulous at
and
whatever it is they do. Yes.
And that is the dive and roll through the loop. Dive and roll through the loop.
Oh. So, and two persons come almost at the same time, and
the loop, sorry.
Oh,
one creates
wow,
a loop,
okay.
and the other one dives through it.
And here again, with the least mistake, there could be a crash of heads.
Exactly.
It's
so it's done with training. And let me add that Lieutenant Gershon Adase and his able safety supervisors, Chief Petty Officer Class 1 Aqua Bernard, Staff Sergeant Oklu Roland Moses, and Petty Officer Class 1 Seshi Sylvester, Flight Sergeant Amponsa Jeffrey, and Staff Sergeant Adata Courage worked tirelessly to bring this personnel to this level. Even though they are physical training instructors, they still needed to train.
This is GBC's coverage of the 63rd Independence Parade and the first national parade ever to be held in the Ashanti regional capital, Kumasi. The first was in the northern regional capital of Tamale. And here in Kumasi, we're seeing beautiful scenes, beautiful sounds, beautiful people, beautiful cultures, diversity of cultures meeting at one spot, and that spot is here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium. So the loop and dive and loop?
Dive and roll through the loop. But this one is somersault through the loop. So he has created the loop by you somersault over him.
Oh, wow.
So that's a higher jump.
Yes,
that's a higher
jump. One.
And again, with the least of mistakes, we could have trouble in our hands. And so what it means, again, is that don't try this at home. It's for the experts. And this is just an indication of how physically fit the men of the Ghana Armed Forces are. And I'm beginning to get memories of Tamale coming back. I saw something similar, and then it began to blaze with fire, and we had men and personnel from the Ghana Armed Forces jump. Okay, so we go. There we go again. You can. And the crowd is responding to this again. The crowd went ecstatic over this one. Anytime someone jumps through it successfully, because if you fail to do so, you will not go back home the same.
You can't afford to touch any of the edges.
You cannot.
But this will also be very hot.
Yes, it is fire, so it's hot.
Oh dear.
So again, I'm always curious about some of these things. So, in practicality, what will this do for us as a people or as an army? What's this supposed to mean?
That if you have a mission to accomplish and you need to overcome this, then you have to find a way of overcoming it. You don't have to allow fire to be an obstacle. You don't have to allow rain to be an obstacle. In fact, nothing must be an obstacle.
We've seen should not be an obstacle because they're jumping at a high altitude, if you like. But again, you have to be so precise that you have to go through fire to be able to get to your task. Wow. And so there we had it. He tried to jump over it, but indeed, okay. So this is jumping over it.
Yes,
the first was jumping through it. Now it's jumping over it actually. Okay, and
that's he jumped paying compliments.
What does that mean?
He was saluting when he jumped through the ring. Oh, you didn't see it. You missed it.
That was very fast. Paying compliments. He was saluting. He was saluting whilst jumping at the same time.
Exactly.
And he jumps through.
Yeah, exactly. And so, yes.
And the president is rising to show his appreciation.
So the leader is going to ask permission again for them to march off. Yes, and their motto is strong mind, strong body.
Strong mind,
strong body.
Yes.
Of course, you need a strong mind to be able to withstand some of the very torturous experiences, and then you need a strong body to be able to withstand the very physically demanding tasks that the Ghana Armed Forces have to go through in order to protect our territorial integrity, but also to participate at the UN level and the AU level to ensure that Ghana remains an active member of the UN and also an active member of the AU and other international bodies such as the ECOWAS and so on. And so it's instructive that we are aware that our men and women in uniform are always physically and mentally stable and alert at all times to protect our interest. And that was the physical trainers of the Ghana Armed Forces. So now everything is in the hands of the security agencies at this point in time. We've seen the horsework. What next?
We have a little surprise, and I'll start speaking only when they start it.
Oh, so you have a surprise for who? For the audience, for the president?
For our viewers.
So it's a little surprise.
Yes.
And
this is a short scenario as to how, if there's a need to rescue somebody, like a very important personality has been kidnapped, and then a special force is inserted to go and then rescue the person. Before such people get onto the field, we'll have security intelligence giving us an idea as to the location, and then in real life scenario, the aircraft would have dropped the persons far away, and then they'll find their own means to the location. So we are assuming that they have found their location, and some personnel will rappel and others will do fast roping. There are two types of getting down from the aircraft to rescue that person who has been kidnapped. But for the sake of time, I'm sure they are going to give an abridged version, so you will not see all the nitty-gritty.
So now this chopper is assumed to have arrived at the spot where the person is being held hostage, so to speak.
This particular one will have to be happening a bit far from the location.
Because it will draw attention.
It will draw attention.
So it will be far from the location.
Yes.
And then the personnel would have to find a way of
walking.
Okay.
Exactly.
So this is where we are now.
Yes. So this is rappelling. What you are seeing now, that form of dropping is called rappelling. And it's normally dropped off the location for the personnel to walk a distance or drive, whichever means is available, to the site of the operation. And because I'm privy to it, let me add that the first person coming out is a female.
Oh,
yes,
we have. Well, it's clear. We can see it's a female, and she's done it so effortlessly. She's landed very well. So they will from here then join, because we saw two men with a motorbike like.
It's more than two. It's because of the camera.
Okay.
They have actually secured the whole place, so they have them around virtually the whole stadium.
So this is rappelling from the chopper to the location. Not the direct location, but a location a bit far away, so that you do not draw the attention of the enemy before you go in for the rescue. Otherwise, then the enemy would devise defensive mechanisms against you. Okay. So it is assumed that here at this point, the enemy doesn't know that any action is being taken.
No. And even if it happens that they have to drop the enemy at the exact location, okay, should I be giving out so much information? I think I'll keep it to myself. So
we'll see the surprise.
What we have now.
Yeah, we'll have the surprise here. But from here, really, I'm just being curious. So then what next? They will now walk. There's an advanced team, and we are not seeing communication between the advanced team and those rappelling from the chopper at the moment. How are they communicating with each other?
I believe, normally this is planned way back in our bases. That maybe at so and so time this group will go. So and so time you go, and the rappelling team would have to rappel onto the ground and secure the ground before those coming to do the actual rescue would come. So another team will come. But I'm sure for the sake of time, we might not show everything. And the fact that we see them rappelling so easily doesn't make it easy at all. It can be very, very intimidating. Even the aircraft alone, the air blowing around it can create a lot of challenge. So this required training. And this person is coming out with a dog. This is a trained dog for such exercises or operations.
And the dog is aware of this. So the dog has trained, and this is not the first time the dog is going through such an exercise.
No, this is not the first time.
Okay. And the dog is trained to know all the other persons, all the other men and women in the battalion?
No, not necessarily. Yes. But the dog trainer gives it instructions and it obeys.
Right.
No, dogs are very sensitive pets. If only you have time and you train them, you can use them for so many things. And these are specially trained military dogs for operations.
We've seen quite a few since we arrived at the venue yesterday. Very strong looking dogs with huge muscles, with the ability to push down a man if you're not careful. We've seen a few of them here, and it's exciting to know that the Ghana Armed Forces is that well prepared in terms of yes.
So in reality, this team will go and help those on the ground to secure wherever. So this team will drop off and walk to close to the location of the incident and secure the place and be ready to fire back or return fire if the enemy should try to fire on them. Sometimes, or maybe when the person is running off, the dog can be directed to go and then arrest it. Yeah. This is a fast roping. This one, they do it much faster than the rappelling. And this one normally is closer to the site. So before this team comes, the rappelling team should have been in position. You see, they are so quick. And that's the commanding officer of the unit. It's thicker. Well, like I said, for the sake of time, a lot of things have been
left out.
Yes. Because there will be the need to exchange fire and all that. It will not be done. So please, those of you who are expecting it, sorry.
There will not be exchange of gunfire.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so they have repelled from the chopper, and then the second one,
the fast roping.
The fast roping.
Yes, they have also come down, and they are coming to actually rescue the person who has been kidnapped.
Right. This is actually the first time we are seeing this as part of the parade at any Independence Day. This is an innovation, and it is new. It's novel and exciting to watch. For those of us who rarely come close to military and their actions, this presents us with a very exciting picture.
Okay, so this is the Special Forces of the Ghana Armed Forces. We have personnel from the Ghana Army, and we also have personnel from the Ghana Navy. The Navy Special Forces is known as the Special Boat Squadron. And the members of the rappelling team, the first crew, were Flight Lieutenant Dominic Ajokache, Flight Lieutenant Daniel Foley, Flight Lieutenant Samuel Nyako Mensah, Flight Lieutenant Patrick Opoku Buachi, and Warrant Officer Class 1 Mafu Osei Halifax, as well as Warrant Officer Class 1 Richard Mensah. And those who came through the pilot for the fast roping are Squadron Leader Evans Kwabna Opoku, Squadron Leader Benjamin Ochre, and Flight Lieutenant Abdul Nasser Salia, with Sergeant Tebi Kenneth, and Sergeant Kina Stephen, and Corporal Aticho Charles. And so the dog has helped them to arrest whoever is fomenting the trouble. So they just to inform the public that if there's something that needs special forces to go and undertake the operation, they would go and do it. So now they are searching the criminal to be sure he has nothing on him.
The crowd of people here at the Baba Yara Stadium observing as the Ghana military, Ghana Armed Forces, I should say, show us what stuff they're made of and how prepared they are to protect the territorial integrity of the Republic of Ghana. We've come a long way, 63 years of independence, 63 years of so much to celebrate and so much to look forward to. The president now taking his seat. So the special forces are now marching off. Assignment has been done.
Yes, accomplished.
Accomplished, yes. And their tax is done, and they will now go home, if you like.
Yes.
They've been dismissed.
Yes, they sought permission.
It's in the military that dismissal means something different from the rest. When you are dismissed, I've heard that in the military, and that means go home. In other circles, when you are dismissed, it means don't come back here ever again.
It has different meanings at different times. So if you're on parade and they said turn to your right, dismiss, it means turn to your right, you have closed whatever we are doing.
Go home.
But you can also be dismissed from the armed forces. So it can be used in the connotation that you know as well.
Thank you so much, the Vice President of the Republic. Again, at the risk of sounding repetitive, the Baba Yara Sports Stadium is filled to capacity 40,000 plus people are here. We have thousands more around the vicinity of the stadium. Every parking space, every sitting space has been occupied, to the extent that the police have made a public appeal to people not to leave their homes for the stadium, and that they should stay at home, because even if you come, you will not be able to get a chance to come inside the stadium. Now we see the mass band again.
Yes, and the mass band will be trooping, after which the contingents, the Ghana Armed Forces and the other security services will now march back onto the parade. You know, the mass band is part of the parade, and because it will not have time to march past like the other contingent, it normally troops, and the aim of the trooping is to display. So I'm sure with time we'll see what they have for us.
So this is the mass band. And the mass band is made up of various bands from the various wings of the Ghana Armed Forces.
Yes, we have the Armed Forces Central Band, we have the Army Band, we have the Navy Band, the Air Force Band, and the Police Band. And so they always come together during. And
on this occasion, who then leads the band? Is it the Army, the Navy, the police, or who leads the band?
Normally the senior, the most senior, and in this person is the band officer. In this instance is the band officer, and it's the person of Naval Lieutenant Stanley Theophilus Brock. And he's assisted by Lieutenant Emmanuel Eric Yaboa, Lieutenant Foster Opoku Jan, and Assistant Superintendent of Police Felix Ofe Osei Maabua. So the leader is the band officer. Yes.
And in the military you also have band masters.
He is the band officer. So these are drum majors. We have the band. The band masters normally are behind the band. So those marching now with the maize are the drum majors, and they display with the maize. And then we have the band masters. They are normally behind the band as they march. So maybe when they come around, so these are drum majors, and they are led by the senior most drum major, who is in the person of Chief Petty Officer Class 1. Chief Petty Officer Class 1, Tay Aite James. He is the most senior drum major. So we have the drum major from the Army, Staff Sergeant Abeka Edward, and Staff Sergeant Kweku Emmanuel. We have the drum major for the Navy, Leading Seaman Sani Taju Emmanuel, and Flight Sergeant Blackson Ebenezer from the Air Force, and they are all drum majors. A while ago, the band had displayed a stool, and we know the significance of stool in the Ghanaian culture. Stool is a mark of authority and royalty. In Asante Kingdom, we are aware of the golden stool, and as a nation, we have the presidential stool. And so the band a while ago demonstrated stool. They displayed the stool.
So they are not just marching, but they are marching to communicate. They are marching to send different messages at different times. And a short while ago, Commander just indicated that the ship we saw was that of a stool. And there's Asantehene himself who occupies a stool. And we know the significance of a stool in the Ashanti Kingdom. The stool actually reflects the spirit of Ashanti.
That is true. All chiefs have a a storeroom where stools of the past chiefs are kept. And you have to do your work very well and with distinction before your stool will be preserved. Otherwise, it will be left white and it will not be blackened. The blackened stools are the most prestigious of all the stools. So this is a trophy for every chief who lives honorably.
All right, so it wasn't by accident that we saw the military do that, especially as we are in the Ashanti region.
And so that was the drum majors displaying with their maize. And that is a mark of authority as far as they are also concerned. And that is the most senior drum major, Chief Petty Officer IT. And let me quickly add that the band masters, we have Chief Petty Officer Class 1 Quist Love from the Ghana Navy. We also have Warrant Officer Class 1 Dale Leonidas from the Ghana Armed Forces Central Band. Warrant Officer Class 1 Anani George from the Army Band. And that is the band officer, Lieutenant Brock. We also have Chief Petty Officer Class 1 Boachi Emmanuel from the Ghana Navy. And the Ghana Air Force, we have Warrant Officer Class 2 Mayedeng John. And the police, we have Inspector Boateng Nicholas. The band has put up another display, and this time it is unity. Unity. In unity is strength, and as a people we need to work together as one.
Currently you are seeing the crowd of people, and there's the Vice President and his wife waving the flag of Ghana, but the band has formed a shape signifying unity at this point in time. The unity of Ghana as exemplified by the attendance here, as exemplified by the pictures you're seeing on your screens at the moment. People from different backgrounds, culturally, religiously, ethnically, social status wise, everyone is here, and the purpose is Ghana. The love of Ghana, 63rd anniversary of Ghana's independence it is.
Let me quickly add that the drum majors for the police are Sergeant Ada Daniel and Corporal Ampoma Matilda.
And that was the police band. We will now have the march pass by the other security agencies. The band having displayed what they are made of and having sent out messages both verbally through their songs and also through the shapes they made whilst marching. Very significant messages there. Soon we'll find the other troops join them as they march past and pay respect to the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces, His Excellency President Kufu-Addo. That will be done very shortly.
Yes, so the mass band will move to take its proper position so that it can allow the other contingents to march on parade. And so that's what they are doing now. They are moving to the rear of the parade so that the other contingent can come and march past.
So the other contingents will come and march past. But again, Silicon, I just want us to go back to the numbers. We saw a very huge crowd in Tamale. And it looks like we've stepped it even higher, up even higher, as we see here in Kumasi that the 40,000 capacity stadium has been filled up to capacity, and that even the parking spaces outside the stadium have all been taken up, and then also all those who are selling and people walking around. The place is so filled up that there are no spaces. I know you love crowds. What is the kind of crowd you expected? This is beautiful, Selikin. The other contingents now taking their turns to march. They're about to take their turns to march, the other contingents. And a while ago, I just saw a picture. I wish that we had stayed on it a while longer, where I saw a man wearing smock, another wearing kente, and right beside the one wearing kente was a man in agbada. Three different cultures in one picture. Pictures speak much louder than words. Ashanti region is home to a variety of people. The Ashanti trace their history, and you find that they have interacted with many people from different backgrounds. You agree with me?
Yeah, very much. We have the city of Kumasi and towns inserted in the city. So we have the Angloga, which is bigger than Angloga in Volta region. In Kumasi, we have Fanti New Town, which is also bigger in terms of size compared to Mankesim in the central region. We have Dagomba town, we have the Mosizongo, we have all these people, and not just that, they have their chiefs who have position in the chieftaincy system in the Ashanti kingdom, so that the Angloga chief is within the Jasi division, and then we have the Fanti chief on the right wing chief, that is Nifa division. So we have all these people and their positions within the kingdom, so that they don't find themselves wanting. Everybody is seen as an Ashanti. The Ashanti is not the language. It is everybody who lives here.
Wow, interesting. I knew about the Gomba line. I know about Angloga in Kumasi. I know about the Zongo and so on. But it's interesting to find out that these groups of people actually have seats in the Ashanti kingdom and the structure of the chieftaincy in Ashanti.
They don't see themselves as strangers. They all belong to it, and they have their chiefs who move closer to the king more than even an ordinary Ashanti would move closer to the king.
The contingents have just started marching at the moment. These are men from the Ghana Army, I believe.
Yes, that's the Ghana Army now. Then we have the Ghana Navy.
And this is slow march.
Yes.
So at what point do you do slow march? And when does the slow march translate into a quick march? We've seen that a number of times, Commander Veronica. The last time we saw they started slow march, and before we knew it, the tune had changed and the steps had changed. They had started moving very quickly. Can you tell us about that?
Yes, we have different types of steps. We have the slow march, we have the quick march, and we even have some which is much faster than the quick march. Those ones are normally used within our training institution. I believe we just start slowly and we warm up to the quick march. So there's no specific time to say this is the time for you to do slow march and that time you do quick march. On every parade, we try to display both, that we can walk slowly, we can walk majestically, and we can also walk very quickly when the need arises. So every parade, we try to have these two, slow and a quick time. And so now the contingent are first marching onto the stadium, after which only the Ghana Armed Forces will march past in slow time, and then the others will join in the quick time. And that's a color party in our shot a while ago. And colors are very, very important in the military. Colors have a long-standing history where men tied either their cloth or a piece of material on a pole to depict their location. And as militaries were formed, colors started evolving. And so on the battlefield, you always had your colors at a particular location, such that in the noise of the battle, it is raised aloft so that wherever you are, you can see it. Even as you fight, you make the effort to get to where your colors are. And once the colors were taken over by the enemy, you lost the battle and you became prisoners of war or slaves. And so colors have been protected since time immemorial. And that's a parade commander.
Right, so now let's listen to the parade commander.
Captain Edu Jemfi. It is only the armed forces that will march past in slow time, and when they are done, the other security services will join them to march past in quick time. That's the Ghana Air Force. And the gentleman on the horse in the white is the parade adjutant, Lieutenant Commander Jabbar Bentel. And the lead officer is the parade commander, Group Captain Edu Jemfi. That was compliment paid to Mr. President. And anytime the parade is marching and gets to the days, Mr. President is expected to stand and take all the compliments before he takes his seat.
And Sergeant Sowa Benjamin. Number 4 escort contingent is the Navy female contingent, commanded by Naval Lieutenant Selina Bia. The supernumeraries are Sub Lieutenant Jennifer Abwaje and Sub Lieutenant Christabel Enima Echampong. The contingent sergeant major is Petty Officer Class 2 Aliga Nokwe Regina. The number 5 contingent is an Air Force male contingent, commanded by Flight Lieutenant Emmanuel Kelly. The supernumeraries are Flying Officer Richmond Abutiate and Flying Officer Anderson Don Komangma. The contingent's non-commissioned officer supernumerary is Warrant Officer Class 2 Kunuma Raymond. The number 6 escort contingent is the Ghana Air Force female contingent, commanded by Flight Lieutenant Precious Say. Her supernumeraries are Flying Officer Benedict Anna Achair Boy and Flying Officer Hamdallah Al-Hassan. The non-commissioned officer supernumerary is Flight Sergeant Asad Greta.
Set! Left! Wheel! Left!
Following the said contingent is the Parade Second in Command, Lieutenant Colonel Kwesi Ware Pepra. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, the Ghana Armed Forces contingents and the contingents from the other security services will march past in quick time. Distinguished guests, approaching the dais now is the #1 contingent, the Army Male Contingent from the Southern Command of the Ghana Army. The motto of the command is Kulum Shiri, ready and willing. Kulum Shiri, ready to fight. Kulum Shiri, shield the nation. #2 contingent is the Army All-Female Contingent, drawn from the Support Services Brigade Group. Their motto is press on, and the response is regardless. The #3 contingent is the Ghana Navy Male Contingent, drawn from the Western Naval Command in 2nd D. Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen, may I request all to rise anytime the colors move past your location. An important feature of every military parade is the custom of carrying colors. And today we have 4 colors on parade: the Ghana National Color, the Ghana Army Color, the Ghana Navy Ensign, and the Ghana Air Force Color. The #4 contingent is the Navy All-Female Contingent, drawn from the Eastern Naval Command in Tema. #5 contingent is an Air Force Male Contingent, drawn from the Air Force Base Accra, Air Force Base Takrade, Air Force Base Tamale, and the Air Force Headquarters in Accra. The #6 Escort contingent is the Ghana Air Force Female Contingent. Personnel are drawn from the Air Force Base Accra, Air Force Base Takrade, Air Force Base Tamale, and the Air Force Headquarters in Accra. The next 4 contingents are drawn from the Ghana Police Service. #7 contingent is commanded by Deputy Superintendent of Police, Kodo Kofi Roberts. The supernumerary is Assistant Superintendent of Police, Stephen Kobna Abrabi, and ASP Richard Nate. The contingent Sergeant Major is General Sergeant Ebenezer Tete. The #8 contingent is commanded by DSP Mary Esikumsin, with ASP Sunrise Adika and ASP Rose Ajo Aliga as supernumerary. The contingent Sergeant Major is Policewoman Sergeant Ernestina Amponsan. The 9th contingent of the Ghana Police is commanded by DSP Baba Francis Kofi. The supernumeraries are ASP Roxin Jesse and ASP Kwame Teku. The contingent Sergeant Major is General Sergeant Ankuma Prince. The 10th contingent is the last of the police contingent and is commanded by DSP Theodora Imperiwa. The supernumeraries are ASP Estanate and ASP Opon Asante Doris. The contingent Sergeant Major is Policeman Sergeant Sheila Eje. The next 2 contingents are made up of personnel from the Ghana Prison Service. The 11th contingent is commanded by Deputy Superintendent of Prisons, Houston Nana Ado. The supernumeraries are Assistant Superintendent of Prisons, Andy Mreku Asante, and ASP Roger Esiedu. The contingent Sergeant Major is Sergeant David John. The 12th contingent is the Prisons Female Contingent, commanded by DSP Vera Jekyll. The supernumeraries are ASP Wilhelmina Tego and ASP Karen Obain. The contingent Sergeant Major is Sergeant Emilia Echampo. Contingents 13 and 14 are made up by fire officers. The male contingent is commanded by Assistant Divisional Officer Grade 2 Wilfred Odunya. The supernumeraries are ADO Grade 2 Ado Opoku Bernard and ADO Grade 2 Enoch Adonu. The contingent Sergeant Major is Assistant Station Officer Anan Ni Otu Solomon. The female contingent is commanded by ADO Grade 2 Abdul Fanta. The supernumeraries are ADO Grade 2 Ajua Chumesiwa Hughes. ADO Grade 2 Jejiri Paulina. The contingent Sergeant Major is Assistant Group Officer Apusasa Irene. The next contingents are from the Customs Division of the Ghana Revenue Authority. Assistant Revenue Officer Eugene Minka Asenso is the contingent commander. The supernumeraries are ARO Edwin Nipe Tete and ARO Dixon Bano Kodria. Contingent Sergeant Major is Junior Revenue Assistant Grade 1 Eugene Echampo. The female contingent is commanded by ARO AC Botre. Her supernumeries are ARO Patricia Ahonu and ARO Athia Kesewa. Contingent Sergeant Major is Junior Revenue Assistant Grade 1 Emilia Fosua. The next contingents are drawn from the Ghana Immigration Service. The male contingent is commanded by Deputy Superintendent of Immigration Kennedy Timza. The supernumeraries are Assistant Superintendent of Immigration Al-Hassan Rashid and ASI Isaka Ibrahim. Contingent Sergeant Major is Inspector AJ David. The female contingent is commanded by DSI Sandro Nana Esi. The supernumeraries are ASI Jato Esther and ASI Frederica Holman. The Contingent Sergeant Major is Assistant Inspector Evelyn Ampa. The last two contingents are from the National Ambulance Service. The male contingent is commanded by Advanced Emergency Medical Technician Chumesi Alexander. The supernumeraries are Principal Emergency Medical Technician Owusu Oscar and Principal Emergency Medical Technician Frimpong Reginald. Contingent Sergeant Major is Senior Emergency Medical Technician Abubakari Abdul. The female contingent is commanded by EMT Al-Hassan Nadia. Supernumeraries are PMT Karim Latifa and PMT Sewa Alice. The Contingent Sergeant Major is CMT Boatin Adwa Jumo.
And Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we shall have a choral performance by the SDA Senior High School, the choir.
Your Excellencies, distinguished guests, I want you to watch this splendid display by the contingent King. The contingents have used their rifles to rise our gains. And indeed, the theme for today's 63rd Independence Parade is consolidating our gains. The theme celebrates the successes struck by the nation after 63 years of independence. It also takes a retrospective look at her challenges within the context of Ghana's development agenda over the years. Ghana will continue to become the beacon of hope while we remain peaceful and also protecting her enviable record of being one of the most peaceful countries in Africa.
Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we shall now rise as the choir sings the anniversary anthem. And the choir to perform that is SDA Senior High School, the choir. Shall we please rise? As we sing the anniversary anthem, Maomayu Ehiao. Please wave your Ghana flag. Thank you very much, SDA Senior High School. Shall we please be seated? And the choral trainers were Nana Ado Kwantin Amua, Pastor Uriah Osei Mensa, and Esio Nkwabin David. This was done under the coordination of Mr. Opoku Ajiman, the Ashanti Regional Cultural Coordinator, and Mr. Anania Fakwa, the headmaster of the school. Thank you so much, SDA Senior High School, Bekwai.
Distinguished guests, next we shall witness a display of some equipment by the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana National Fire Service, and the National Ambulance Service.
By the Ghana Armed Forces and other security agencies. You tell us, so the equipment display, we also have the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana National Fire Service, and the Ghana National Ambulance Service all coming together to display their equipment. Of course, we know that in recent times, the Ghana Ambulance Service was given over 300 ambulances. I'm sure they'll be displaying some of them, but what else are we looking forward to seeing, and in what order is it going to take place?
Right. The first to display their equipment will be coming from the 64 Regiment, and they will be coming with the quad bikes and snipers, and that team is led by Captain Anwar Sadat Adams. And then after that we'll have the Hunter vehicles, and these vehicles also operate in very rugged situations and defies all difficult and rough terrain. Then following the Hunter vehicles, we'll have the anti-aircraft guns and multi-rocket launchers, after which the signal will come. The signal is a radio control improvised explosive device jammer on their vehicle. So it's a host of them. So I'd rather we look at it and enjoy it.
I asked you to explain because usually the security agencies keep information to themselves and tell you that for security reasons. Why is it that the security agencies do not mind displaying what they have to the rest of the public, when indeed they have been telling us that we don't tell you everything in security? Some of the things they keep to themselves.
Exactly. And what we are displaying is not everything. We are displaying the ones we can easily display without any challenges. So these vehicles, I'm sure you see them in town from time to time. So these are not things that the general public does not have to know. So we know what to bring out and what to keep in. So these ones, it's just for you to know that these are some of the equipment we work with, and they do not really have any challenge. They do not have any challenge.
And what sort of impact do you hope to make on the public when you come out to display some of these things to them?
Yeah, okay. Some of this equipment can operate in very rugged terrain. So somebody will ask you, something has happened overseas, how do you get there? If we go with an aircraft, eventually we'll have to get down into a vehicle. So some of these vehicles are to tell you the environment in which they operate, and to assure you that irrespective of where you are located, we have variety of vehicles that can reach your location. We also have different weapons for different purposes, which I will not explain anyway. So that is basically just to give you that assurance that we are there to ensure our total safety and security.
Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, the Ghana Fire Service, the Ambulance Service of Ghana, and other security agencies will all in a very short while display to the President some of the equipment they have. And by displaying to the President, of course, by extension, they would be displaying to the rest of us here in the country, just to reassure us that they are up to the task, they are alive and awake, and anytime they are called upon to protect us, they will be there to do so on our behalf.
The leading vehicles are the Cobra 1 Rescue and Surveillance vehicles. They have adopted design modifications. They are equipped with gunshot detection system designed to detect
all these equipment are in place, like Commander Ahmed was saying, and we have no fears at all.
The next vehicle is the Cobra 2 Humboldt personnel carrier. They have adopted the force formation. They are also used to support assault troops in conducting special operations such as raid and counter-terrorism. They are commanded by Second Lieutenant Kevin Lati. The crew officer is one contact class 1 to receive Hanshaw. At the rear of that formation is the Raptor combat vehicle. They are equipped with the 19mm quick firing gun. They have also adopted the Line 1 formation. They are under the command of Second Lieutenant Jonah Frempa. They are Troop 1 combat is one contact class 1 Hanshaw.
So that's a display of equipment by the Ghana Armed Forces, the Ghana Police Service, and also the Ghana Ambulance Service, the Ghana Fire Service, and all the other security agencies. Commander, you are the military officer here with us. You may want to explain to us what we are seeing for purposes of educating our viewers.
Okay, so the shot currently in our view is from the 66 artillery. But from this angle, the 4 vehicles in front are from the Armor Regiment, the 153 Armor Regiment in Accra. Those are the 4 vehicles we are seeing. And then directly behind them, we have the 66 Artillery Regiment. They perform different duties, but I'm not sure I would want to go into the nitty-gritty of their roles.
Yes, we do understand that, but so the president has been on his feet most part of the day since he arrived here, and he's still doing so. Remember that this is the 63rd Independence Anniversary Parade, but it is the first time it has been brought, the national celebration has been brought to the Ashanti region, and specifically to the capital, Kumasi. And it's the second time ever in the history of the Republic of Ghana for the event to have been moved outside of the capital, Accra. The first time was in Tamale, the northern regional capital. Here we see a display of some military equipment. Indeed, this is obviously from the Navy. This is the Ghana Navy. I know this too.
Yes, so that was the Ghana Navy, and that's the port security patrol boats. And these boats are rigid-hulled, inflatable boats used by the Navy for operations at sea and for diving operations.
Definitely, the Ghana Navy could not have brought its ships here, and so you brought a boat to show to Ghanaians.
Yes.
But there's a lot more that the Ghana Navy can boast of than what is being displayed here.
Yes, and that is the police now. Those riders are from the dispatch. No, this is from the Ghana Police Service.
The Ghana Police Service.
This is from the Ghana Police Service.
Are currently displaying. And these are the dispatch riders in front of the other vehicles, and the dispatch riders, as the name suggests, dispatch officials in a very quick manner, where when officials need the way to be cleared for them in order to attend to events and emergencies in good time. Not just officials, but in emergency situations, these are the men who make the way clear for the experts to be able to arrive there on time.
And these are some of the riot control vehicles by the Ghana Police.
Ghana Police Service displaying the equipment to the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. And there we have the Ghana Fire Service. The Fire Service were also restocked not too long ago. They have still been appealing for more. It's just like all of the security agencies, including the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force as well. You've been calling for more equipment to stock your what you already have, haven't you?
Also, from the Ghana National Fire Service, you see the ambulances. Not too long ago, Abdul, the ambulances became a subject of a national conversation.
Of course, the ambulances were a source of conversation, especially when many Ghanaians could not. Yeah, and that is the physical trainers once again.
Yes, physical training instructors from the Ghana Armed Forces.
We earlier saw them display on the field, and now they are displaying some of their equipment. This looks more like a mobile gym, if you ask me.
It's amazing to see a human being just rotating with that vehicle continuously. And this is going to go on throughout. Wonderful.
Please don't try this at home.
Not at all. Not with your friends or your brothers and sisters.
Logs. Those doing the sit-ups.
Yeah.
You see, they are carrying logs.
They're carrying logs.
Yes.
On a moving vehicle.
Yes. Even when you sit and you want to do normal sit-ups, it's difficult. And you are carrying logs on the move. Okay, so. Yes, and that is what I'm pressing.
This is really a display of physical fortitude, not just mental fortitude.
The 63rd Independence Anniversary Parade here at the Baba Yara Sports Stadium, and the scenes here, those that cannot be brought to you on camera, are even more exciting than the ones we see on camera, because the activities taking place outside of the premises of the stadium. It's amazing. We'll be bringing you that once the official ceremony is over, and GBC News will bring you all the scenes that could not be brought to you here. So you stick with GBC as we bring you even the minutest detail of the event here this afternoon. It started in the morning at about 9:30 when the president arrived, and so far it has been exciting. We've seen school children, students, we've seen teachers participate in this, but beyond that, we've seen different cultural groups also represent here. We've seen the different regions, more especially the new regions that were created a little over a year ago. They all came to Kumasi to showcase what it is that their regions have to offer to the rest of Ghana. So we saw the Bono region, the Bono East region, we saw the Savannah region as well as the Northeast region. They each had representation here. It's been an exciting scene, and then of course the security agencies have been phenomenal so far today, and currently we're seeing the display of equipment.
Yes, personnel have gone to pick their weapons. You remember they displayed our gains.
Yes,
they've gone to pick their weapons, and any moment from now they will advance in review order, simply meaning they will get closer to Mr. President to listen to his speech.
What is this right now is that because of the parade?
Yes, that is it. That's the review order.
Another one, and whenever things like this happen, without prompting, you see the crowd go gay with happiness, and the claps, without prompting.
Exactly.
And that's what we just saw there. So this is the marching in review order.
Yes,
it's been
this
done,
advancing in review order.
So they get closer to the commander-in-chief.
Yeah, so now they are paying compliments, and as they are having as they present arms, we are having the 21-gun salute. It's a kind of compliment. It's a kind of literally saying greeting to the president.
Let's hear the 21-gun salute.
Yes.
I didn't expect. We haven't seen this. We've seen after the 21-gun salute, then the 3 choppers just flew past. This again talks about precision, timing, and then there's nothing like Ghanaman time. Time is time, and we have just been shown, because if they had missed it by even a second, the beauty would have vanished.
So we watched 3 things together. They had presented arms whilst we're playing the national anthem. We had the 21-gun salute, and simultaneously we had the aircraft flying past.
And all this happened almost at the same time.
Yes.
And so timing is of the essence.
Exactly. And rehearsal, to be sure that everything is on point.
And that means that in the life of the ordinary man, practice shouldn't be taken for granted.
And timing, the Ghana time is high time we got over it and did things on time.
Commander Edu Jemfi now. Parade Commander Edu Jemfi has been speaking with the president. The parade commander approached the president a while ago, said a few words. I'm sure he's retained.
Right!
Okay.
Stand! East! Stand easy.
May I respectfully invite the special guest of honor for this year's independence anniversary, the Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, His Excellency, Honorable Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, to give his address.
Who is the special guest of honor, has been invited to give his address, and he has started.
Banka Akufo-Addo and Mrs. Rebecca Addo, Akufo-Addo. Your Excellencies, Alhaji Dr. Mahadu Bawumia, Vice President of the Republic of Ghana, and Mrs. Hajia Samira Bawumia, Your Royal Majesty, Otumfo Osei Tutu II and Lady Sophia, Lady Julia, the Speaker of the Parliament, the Right Honorable Professor Era.
Babin is the best show.
Government officials, Honorable Minister of State, Chiefs and Queen Mothers, distinguished invited guests, friends of the media, ladies and gentlemen, it gives me great pleasure to bring to you the government and people of the Republic of Ghana the best wishes of the government and people of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, and to join with you here in Kumasi to celebrate the 6th independence of the Republic of Ghana. I am particularly pleased to be here in Ghana following the success of the year of return in 2019, through which Ghana extended a hand of welcome to all descendants of Africans who were captured and transported to the Americas beginning in 1619 with the arrival of the first enslaved Africans in Jamestown, Virginia, in what would become the United States of America. We in Trinidad and Tobago recognize our ancestral and historical ties to Ghana and other countries of the African continent. The archival records of Trinidad and Tobago show that in 1813, the census of Trinidad, in which enslaved Africans on the island were registered by region of origin and ethnicity, there were persons in Trinidad of ethnic groups drawn from the land of West Africa, from the modern countries of Senegal in the north to Angola in the south, including the Fanti and Akwan ethnic groups from the then Gold Coast. Trinidad and Tobago has therefore always had an African identity. It should be no surprise then that nationals of Trinidad and Tobago had a significant role to play in the 20th century in the development of Pan-African thought and action, starting from the organization of the first Pan-African Conference in London in July 1900 by Henry Sylvester Williams, the Trinidadian barrister, and continuing through the seminal roles played by C.L.R. James and George Padmore in the development of Pan-Africanism. The roles played by C.L.R. James and George Padmore in the development of the political philosophy of Dr. Kwame Nkrumah, the first Prime Minister and President of Ghana, is well documented, with Padmore, a renowned Pan-Africanist, friend and advisor of Dr. Nkrumah. He provided able counsel and support for the establishment of an independent Ghana. It is reported that at the opening of the George Padmore Research Library on African Affairs in Accra on the 30th of June 1961, President Nkrumah ranked Padmore as one of the greatest architects of the African liberation movement dedicated to African union and unity. The attainment of your independence in 1957 under the leadership of Dr. Nkrumah was therefore cause for celebration, not only in Ghana, but also among the nations of the world, which at that time were still struggling to free themselves from colonial rule. Through the formal establishment of relations between the independent countries of Trinidad and Tobago and Ghana, that will take place for 10 years later in 1967, the success of Ghana's independence struggle provided an example of what was possible to those colonies yet to follow in Ghana's footsteps. This close relationship put forward by the United Kingdom and the United States was a resolution which was sponsored by the UK and seconded by Ghana when Trinidad and Tobago was admitted to the United Nations. Over the 53 years of diplomatic relations between our countries, we have pursued shared interests in our bilateral relations and in regional and international fora, including the African, Caribbean, and Pacific group of states. I wish to draw to your attention specifically the two areas of cooperation, agriculture and energy, which build on a history of collaboration between our two countries. The importance of agriculture in the development of a country cannot be overstated, as it provides the most basic and essential form of security for society. This food security also has the potential to translate into income security, as it provides means of sustenance and income for many of our people. Both Trinidad and Tobago and Ghana are producers of cocoa, and cooperation in this area between our countries dates back to our colonial past. The Cocoa Research Unit and the scheme of 1930 at the Imperial College of Tropical Agriculture at St. Augustine in Trinidad and Tobago was financed jointly by several governments, including the government of Ghana. Ghana hosted the first roundtable on sustainable cocoa economy in October 2007, followed by Trinidad and Tobago in March 2009. Both our countries are also states parties to the International Cocoa Agreement of 2001. Trinidad and Tobago has an interest in furthering collaboration with Ghana in developing our cocoa sectors through establishing linkages between our respective cocoa management authorities. Exchanges in expertise and technology, sharing of genetic material, training, joint venture projects, cocoa tourism, and the processing of cocoa into finished products along the cocoa value chain are all matters of interest between our both countries. With respect to energy, Trinidad and Tobago has been involved in the petroleum sector for over 100 years, undertaking considerable oil and gas exploration on land and shallow water. As the largest oil and natural gas producer in the Caribbean, Trinidad and Tobago's hydrocarbon sector moved from an oil one to mostly natural gas based in the early 1990s. In January 2007, the then Prime Minister of Trinidad and Tobago, the late Patrick Manning, announced the establishment of an African Energy Initiative at the 8th Ordinary Session of the African Union in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. The objectives of this initiative for Trinidad and Tobago were to provide assistance to the countries of West, Central and South Africa in developing their energy sectors, to further the economic development and wealth of the selected states of the African Union by providing free technical expertise in an advisory capacity to assist them in monetizing their petroleum and natural gas resources. Also to assist Africa's achievement of the United Nations Millennium Development Goals. And thirdly, to enhance opportunities for South-South cooperation with selected states of the African Union. Additionally, there have been discussions between the Takoradi Technical University of Ghana and the University of Trinidad and Tobago, UTT, focused on exploring between the two universities the development of human resources and technical capabilities for Ghana's oil and gas industry. Trinidad and Tobago is ready and willing to assist in the development of this new area of economic activity in Ghana, and you will find in Trinidad and Tobago a ready partner through energy skills training and linkages between our tertiary institutions. These two areas, energy and agriculture, build on a history of collaboration between our two countries. It is for this reason that Trinidad and Tobago would wish to enter into arrangements with Ghana as soon as possible for the establishment of air services and transportation between our two countries. This would promote the movement of people and goods and improve the trade prospect between our countries. As I close, I recall that on the last occasion I had the privilege to visit Ghana in 2016. I took the opportunity to visit Elmina Castle, which was used as a facility for the holding and shipping of slaves from Africa to the Americas. This movement of persons from Africa into the Americas brought with it a deep reservoir of culture and traditions, which continue to enrich and sustain us for centuries after our our rival in that part of the world. Trinidad and Tobago, as the first country in the world to declare a national holiday to commemorate the abolition of slavery, pays homage to the contribution, resilience of those persons in its annual Emancipation Day celebration, which have been attended by former presidents of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Flight Lieutenant Jerry Rawlings and His Excellency John Agyekum Kufuor. In the same way that Ghana has been present in Trinidad and Tobago as we celebrate our Emancipation Day, I am happy to return to Africa and to Ghana to celebrate your Independence Day with you. As we in Trinidad and Tobago celebrate with you today the 63rd Independence Day of the Republic of Ghana, I hold out to you the best wishes of the government and people of Trinidad and Tobago for peace, progress and prosperity of the government and people of the Republic of Ghana. Happy independence to the people of Ghana from the people of Trinidad and Tobago.
Thank you very much, Your Excellency. We shall have a poetry recital and drum appellation by the Garrison Basil School.
And Your Excellencies, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the school to perform the drum appellation and poetry recital is Garrison Basic School from 4 Garrison Education Center, 4BN in the Kumasi Metropolis. The appellation was written by the head teacher, Mr. Isaac Osei-Kofo, and this is done to usher in very important personalities to rise and address their people. In this case, His Excellency the President of the Republic of Ghana, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, is respectfully invited to step forward to deliver his independence address to the nation.
Ghana ene osani kokro be pia ma Ghana mai pudio no me nyina bochi abepie santima mu onyankopon Allah nyankopon se chia dama eno ama mfa hye kesie edi mpenye ewo omayi mu na ama akehye he nyina se obebo wanya bedu nufuta braba Ghana ma nyina no manoi onyame anoa ama ben ahia bi hu ye bo mrane aneso na efataw Onua na ho brasel na butirenti wajina nkonson atutu omprenu ama atuduro sai na ne prensa so na awoto no ekumadu ma bebre emodu ma pempem so e ma wona ho papatu da na ho wono no wo bemem wo yo chiman de sekan etina kan yesunsun kuta te se kuta de ne wonyere wonsem na sunfiri wunsada wa tase obuoni ni die do boa te sese bi koko kracha wo boa ne krata na akwaja base bowa akwa foda ase wa onyame adumu nim denti wasuamra guwidiem amanne emrani fonkare hunu wa o chaw prise egu kraku batia se ka se agemrani apapa mu a yenya bio efise o fanye dade o fanye dua o fanye nsuo o fanye honhom nipa ne sebi abodie pinso unsisio mansana mahamo itida wo odi chenya nsabonso amampani fufuro suro omuhunu se ho popoya okote omampani sujarampoe Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, Your Excellency, Addo one day state, one factory, Addo one village, one dam, Addo one constituency, one ambulance, papebi. Omampani a teacher for, a nurse for, a nyuma hodo, a kuni aniti na adanwo. Ukura umudi muti sabra kosia. Uwatima to send yanko pasachiri. Free SHS papa money yo. Nana money yo wate. Nana money yo. If we say wama ya nanka yensem fata. Ya anga sebita frache. Ewe nim ni ewe chia. Nani da so bien free woma. Akwachancha mati say nanka yensi ye day ni akonta so sukuni mubi. And I use the age na honey and I was you. And I use the Yakotua was say near the other was say. Wasia brefo. Wama brefo ko majuo. Kuna fo hine kununu nasenne oma kuna fo nzako mano dia nanani esia ni semunu yo wate nana bata cheche haze wodi usheche ne ya nana nkodu be shechiro odru seba ne ya nana nko be tru seba wate santima wura santima dia kuntunsini otumfo se tutu otosum yenu ye bo dia ye bo emu ase nana ye tumpo bia no ate medam ase
onyankro po chediam tete kwafra wo sumba o brief and tampama ye do say yanyo wonam
The pupils were taken through rehearsals by Mr. Dapa Moses, Mr. Antonio Poku, and Mr. Ochu Erif, all teachers of Garrison Basic Schools. And this was done under careful supervision of Mrs. Joyce Afrenuama, Director for Cultural Education Programs, Ghana Education Service. May I respectfully invite the President to deliver his 63rd Independence Anniversary speech. Mr. President,
distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have reached the climax of today's Independence Anniversary Parade, which is the anniversary speech by the Commander-in-Chief of the Ghana Armed Forces. With a round of applause, join me welcome Mr. President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo for the 63rd Independence Anniversary speech. Mr. President.
Eminent clergy, Your Excellency, the Prime Minister of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, our esteemed guest of honor and your spouse, First Lady, Vice President and Second Lady, the Right Honorable Speaker of Parliament, Chief Justice and spouse, Chairperson and members of the Council of State, Your Excellency, the Second President of the Fourth Republic, former Second Lady, Otumfuo Asantehene, dignitaries of the Ghanaian and Trinidadian states, the Chief of Defense Staff of the Ghana Armed Forces, the Inspector General of the Police Force, commanders, officers, men, women of the security services, Nananum and traditional rulers, members of the diplomatic corps, fellow Ghanaians, ladies and gentlemen. It was 63 years ago today that our forefathers' dream of independence for our nation became a reality. Ghana became an independent nation and gained her freedom from the colonial power, Britain. The celebrated calypso singer of the time, Lord Kitchener, put it into what became a famous hit. This day will never be forgotten, the 6th of March, 1957, when the Gold Coast successfully got their independence officially. Ghana is the name. Ghana we wish to proclaim. We will be jolly, merry and gay the 6th of March, Independence Day. Today, as we mark this sacred day on our calendar, it is worth noting that the great majority of our population was born after 6th March 1957. They identified that day only through old black and white newsreels, and it might be difficult for them to imagine the sheer euphoria and magic of that day. Last year, for the first time, we took the official celebrations out of the national capital city of Accra to Tamale, capital of the northern region, and a huge success it was. This year, we are gathered here in Kumasi, capital of the Ashanti region, as the focal point of the official celebrations. The happiness of the day is not meant to be limited to the place of the official celebrations. This is a day that should be celebrated by all around the country and by all Ghanaians and friends of Ghana, wherever they are. Indeed, on that day of 6th March 1957, the celebrations were not limited to the new country, Ghana, or to Ghanaians alone. The rest of the world joined to celebrate with us. We were the trailblazers for the independence movement of the continent. We held out hope for restored dignity to the black race around the world. African Americans,
and the peoples of the Caribbean especially walked tall and cheered us on. It was not accidental that the Trinidadian, Lord Kitchener, composed the defining song of the event. We're carrying on that relationship, born 63 years ago, by having as our esteemed guest of honor at these celebrations the Prime Minister of the Government of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago, the Honorable Dr. Keith Christopher Rowley, MP, one of the great figures of modern Caribbean politics, who has given us such a superb speech of commendation and encouragement. Prime Minister and Mrs. Sharon Clark Rowley and members of the Trinidadian delegation, we wish you a warm Ghanaian welcome, a big Akwaba, on your second visit to our country. And we know that you are at home and among your own in your beautiful kente cloths. It is a matter of great joy to us that last year we had such enthusiastic support for the year of return from the Caribbean and the Americas. The Prime Minister of Barbados, the Admirable Honorable Mia Motley QC MP, was also with us last year, and she accompanied me to Yendi to witness the historic performance of the age-old Damba Festival by a new Yana, the first in many, many years, to mark the end of decades of hostility in one of the ancient kingdoms of our land. Prime Minister, we are here in Kumasi in the presence of the Asantehene, scion of the famous Osei Poku Oyoko royal dynasty, Otumfuo Osei Tutu II. There is one thing that any visitor here can be certain of. It is the cultural capital of our country. Kumasi welcomes people from all parts and makes them feel like they belong. It was also the capital of one of the greatest kingdoms of pre-colonial Africa, Asante, whose luster was comparable to that of the kingdoms of Benin, Oyo, Mali, Songhai, Congo, Mutapa, and Zulu. So we are indeed in historic premises and are grateful for the attendance of the mighty Asantehene and the other noble traditional rulers. Fellow Ghanaians, we remember today, as we should, those whose vision inspired the independence movement. We pay homage today, as we should, to those who dare to dream of this kaleidoscope nation made up of different peoples. And we give praise, as we should, to those who made huge sacrifices to make possible March 6, 1957. To the members of the Aborigines Rights Protection Society, who protected our lands from the grasp of the greedy imperialists. The members of the United Gold Coast Convention, who first sounded the clarion call for freedom. The members of the Convention People's Party, who brought the battle for freedom to a successful conclusion. And all those who took the fight to the colonialists. We recall with pride and salute the memories of Yasantua, Jacob Say, John Mensah Saba, Joseph Casey Hafer, George Moore, R.S. Wood, Thomas Hutton Mills, Kwamna Sechi, James Kwejie Agri, Ni Kwamna Boni III, Ephraim Amu, George Alfred Grant, Joseph Wachi Dankwa, Francis Awono Williams, R.S. Blake, J.W. DeGraff Johnson, Emmanuel Obecha Bilanti, Edward Akufo-Addo, William Oforiatta, Ebenezer Akwaje, Kwame Nkrumah, Kwamna Kese, V.B. Annan, Jimmy Kwestasi, Kamla Agbeli Gbedema, Kojobo Tsio, Kofi Bakon, Krobo Edusei, Nancy Tibo, Mumuni Bawumia, SD Domo, Kofi Abrefa Busia, Joe Apia, Victor Owusu, R.R. Amponsa, Bafo Seakoto, Modesto Apalu, S.G. Anton, Akua Shosho, and Dede Sikisan, and many others. Since we gained our independence, we've had difficulties and stumbled in the search to reach our potential. But Ghana has never lost her position as the inspirational leading light of the African continent. At 63, we know that we have squandered many opportunities that properly utilized would have brought us to the economic breakthrough to which we aspire. We lament, and rightly so, the infrastructure deficits that plague all sectors of our lives. And the considerable number of our
the way people were misbehaving in church. When my bite and when you're in church last Sunday, Mama, now when you're pa.
Le début de ce dernier match du troisième tour de la qualification à la Coupe du Monde dans la zone Afrique. Ce match aller entre le Ghana et l'Égypte dans le Baba Yara Stadium de Koumassi avec une première occasion pour l'équipe du Ghana. Sur le coup d'envoi, énorme opportunité pour Asamoah Gyan, l'ancien attaquant du Stade Rennais, le capitaine des Black Stars. Ça ne passe pas, mais ça donne le ton. Une rencontre extrêmement attendue. Le Ghana est la meilleure équipe africaine sur les deux dernières Coupes du Monde. On parle beaucoup du Cameroun, de la Côte d'Ivoire, d'autres nations, de l'Algérie en ce moment. Mais c'est bien le Ghana, la meilleure formation africaine en Coupe du Monde. 8e de finaliste en 2006. Quart de finaliste en 2010 et on l'avait vécu, elle valait une demi-finale. Cet échec terrible contre l'Uruguay, personne ne l'a oublié. Ce match en Afrique du Sud, l'équipe du Ghana qui s'était qualifiée sur les deux dernières éditions pour ses deux premières Coupes du Monde, il n'y en avait jamais eu avant. L'Égypte de son côté a participé à deux phases finales de Coupe du Monde seulement, alors que c'est un géant du continent, le plus titré pour ce qui est de la CAN. Coupe du Monde 1934, c'est très ancien. Coupe du Monde 1990 en Italie, c'est la dernière apparition des Égyptiens. Et il y a un certain nombre de joueurs pour qui c'est vraiment la dernière chance d'y aller. C'est une double confrontation sûrement exceptionnelle. D'ailleurs, c'est parti avec une première occasion pour Asamoah Gyan et une deuxième pour Abdulmajid Waris sur cette balle derrière. Très peu inspiré de la défense égyptienne. Ah, c'est parti sur les chapeaux de roue avec cette tête en retrait d'Ahmed Fatih qui est pourtant un joueur d'expérience. Énorme ambiance, il y a 40 000 personnes dans ce Baba Yara Stadium de Koumassi pour essayer de pousser le Ghana vers une troisième phase finale de Coupe du Monde consécutive. Malgré le fait de jouer le match retour à l'extérieur, beaucoup placent le Ghana comme le favori, mais l'Égypte a été impressionnante ces derniers temps. On a parlé beaucoup des autres matchs, mais celui-là est peut-être celui qui sera le plus disputé, un des plus excitants vraiment. Les supporters égyptiens présents pour ce match. Déjà 2 grosses situations de but en faveur du Ghana, alors qu'on joue depuis même pas 3 minutes. Je vous en donne la composition des équipes. Pour l'équipe du Ghana, Fatao Daouda dans le but, le gardien de l'équipe sud-africaine des Orlando Pirates. Défense à 4 à gauche, Daniel Oparé du Standard Liège. À droite, Samuel Inkoum qui est passé furtivement la saison dernière par Bastia. Charnière centrale, Jerry Akaminko et Rachid Soumaïla. Devant la défense, 2 hommes de très grande expérience, Souley Ali Muntari, le joueur de l'AC Milan, et Michael Essien, le joueur de Chelsea. Plus haut à gauche, Wadou Asamoah, le joueur de la Juventus Turin, et à droite, André Ayou de l'Olympique de Marseille. Et puis en pointe, Abdulmajid Waris et le capitaine Asamoah Gyan. Ballon d'attaque pour l'Égypte, le premier avec une remise ratée. L'intervention d'André Ayou. Ballon pour Essien. Et le Ghana qui se relance. Avec un long ballon bien repoussé de la tête. Côté égyptien, on va évoluer avec Chérif Ekrami dans le but, défense à 4, Ahmed Chelik Kenaoui à gauche, Ahmed Fati à droite, charnière centrale Mohamed Naguib et le capitaine Wael Goma. Attention à Gyan pour l'ouverture du score. Même pas le temps de donner le nom des joueurs qui participent à ce match. L'ouverture du score rapide pour le Ghana, le but du capitaine des Black Stars, Asamoah Gyan. Superbe entame du Ghana qui a mis 2 fois la pression avant ce but et qui a réussi à se procurer 2 occasions. Et c'est le 3e ballon qui est le bon. Gyan qui s'emmène le ballon, défense égyptienne, dépasser la puissance ensuite qui fait la différence. Et qu'est-ce qu'il croise bien sa frappe. Voilà, il devance parfaitement les joueurs égyptiens. Il s'applique bien et Asamoah Gyan permet au Ghana de mener très vite 1-0. Début de match catastrophique de l'Égypte qui n'est quasiment pas sorti de sa moitié de terrain. Et le Ghana rapidement récompensé, ça va renforcer encore l'ambiance dans ce stade. Un Ghana qui a déclaré vouloir se qualifier pour la Coupe du Monde sur un match, celui-là. Certes, il y aura un match retour difficile, mais ils veulent faire un très gros résultat, avoir plusieurs buts d'avance avant d'aller en Égypte pour le match retour et donc quasiment obtenir leur qualification dès ce match aller, ce qui serait assez fantastique. Évidemment, le match va être encore très long et l'Égypte peut réagir et marquer au moins un but à l'extérieur, ce qui ferait une grosse différence. Alors je finis de vous donner la composition de l'Égypte que j'étais en train de vous donner. Krami dans le but, la défense Kenaoui à gauche, Ahmed Fati à droite, Goma et Naguib en charnière centrale devant El Neni et Ossam Ghali en compagnie de la plaque tournante Ansam Achour. Plus haut Walid Soliman et le magicien Mohamed Aboutreika et puis Mohamed Salah pour compléter cette équipe, la petite merveille du FC Bâle que vous avez sûrement vu depuis la saison dernière avec l'équipe suisse. Et l'Égypte qui va essayer de ralentir le jeu, le rythme du match. C'est tout à fait leur style et tout à fait ce dont ils ont besoin. Le Ghana ne va pas s'arrêter là, ils vont vouloir insister, ils sentent qu'ils ont l'ascendant depuis le début. La belle passe volée, non elle est un peu courte de Michael Essien. Ahmed Fati dépassé par Waris. Et Ahmed Fati qui s'est bien repris. La petite remise d'Ossam Ghali. Soliman. Ce sera trop long. Très long centre sur la tête de Goma. C'est directement sur Asamoah Gyan qui contrôle mal. On sent des Black Stars pousser vers l'avant. Et l'envie de faire très très vite une énorme différence. Pour l'instant, ce 1-0 est parfait. Aboutraika avec Salah, Gali. Fatih qui monte sur le côté. Centre tendu. Et ballon récupéré par Fataou Daouda. Un joueur qui joue très peu avec les Orlando Pirates. Vous qui suivez peut-être les performances des Orlando Pirates sur les antennes Groupe Canal dans la Ligue des Champions africaine. C'est Senzo Meyiwa le titulaire et Fataou Daouda qui est titulaire aujourd'hui avec sa sélection nationale. Ne joue pas trop au club ces derniers temps. Mais c'est le choix de James Kwesi Appiah, le sélectionneur du Ghana. Bon pressing, bonne récupération de balle pour le Ghana. Mais une mauvaise passe. Ça prendra le temps qu'il faut, qui sera nécessaire pour l'Égypte. Mais ils vont s'évertuer à ralentir le rythme autant qu'ils le peuvent et seulement accélérer lorsqu'ils sont dans les 20 derniers mètres. Sinon, ils vont essayer de complètement casser le rythme, mais pour l'instant, c'est difficile. Face à une très très forte équipe du Ghana, l'Égypte n'arrive à rien. On s'attendait peut-être à un début de match un peu plus serré, pas un but si rapide. Et les deux équipes qui s'observent un peu, mais le Ghana a décidé de prendre les devants. Et c'est peut-être ce qui est nécessaire pour aller à la Coupe du Monde. Ahmed Fatih. Ahmed Salah essaye de combiner avec une remise d'Aboutraika, c'est raté. Encore une possibilité dans l'axe. Oui, le retour nécessaire de Samuel Nkoum qui se replie de justesse. Bonne première attaque posée des Égyptiens. Et il y aura une deuxième chance. Ballon contré par André Ayou, de retour en sélection avec son frère Jordan. Les deux Marseillais sont bien là, même si Jordan est sur le banc. La folle entame du Ghana semble un petit peu calmée maintenant. Et l'Égypte arrive à garder le ballon un peu plus longtemps dans la moitié de terrain adverse. Et sur 1-0, c'est évidemment idéal. Pour une équipe du Ghana qui est la deuxième meilleure du continent sur les résultats récents, 24e du classement FIFA. L'Égypte, elle, n'est que 50e du classement FIFA et 8e du classement africain, elle qui a eu l'habitude d'être devant. Mais sa non-participation aux 2 dernières CAN lui a fait très mal. Et personne d'ailleurs ne la voyait se relever ainsi et aussi vite et avoir autant de chances de participer à la Coupe du Monde. Mohamed Salah qui tente une belle percée, il est repris. André Ayou est venu jouer un petit peu sur le côté gauche qu'il connaît bien avec Kwadwo Asamoah. Ayou. Tariessien, Ayou. Kwadwo Asamoah essaye d'accélérer le 1-2, il a récupéré la balle, attention à son pied gauche, il frappe très fort Kwadwo Asamoah, énorme occasion et c'est sauvé par Chérif Ekrami, le gardien de l'Égypte. Très bonne occasion pour le joueur de la Juventus Turin. Quand il arrive à s'infiltrer de la sorte, il est toujours très dangereux. Et beaucoup de travail pour le gardien de l'Égypte. Bousculade sur André Ayou. Au centre vers Asamoah Gyan. Il était en position de hors-jeu. Il paraissait bien seul quand même. Le sélectionneur américain de l'Égypte, Bob Bradley, qui a décidé de s'appuyer sur une aussi la célèbre équipe égyptienne, le National du Caire, et ses 8 joueurs de ce même club titulaires aujourd'hui en sélection, avec 2 joueurs du FC Bâle, Mohamed Salah devant et Mohamed El Neni au milieu. Et puis le célèbre Sam Ghali qui avait joué en son temps à Tottenham, qui joue maintenant en Belgique à Liers. Et souvent quand même un mélange un peu supérieur, même si Al-Ahly est toujours extrêmement représenté. Mais là ça fait 8 joueurs. Ce n'est pas un choix innocent. Regardez une ossature de joueurs qui se connaissent, et notamment le gardien et les 4 défenseurs, et ça ne les empêche pas de faire des bêtises, d'avoir encaissé un but et de commettre des fautes. Inkoum. Gyan. La touche sera ghanéenne. Aperçu le sélectionneur du Ghana. Le centre des siens, la reprise de la tête. Oh, quelle parade de Chérif Ekrami sur sa ligne. Encore une occasion énorme pour le Ghana qui étouffe complètement la défense égyptienne et qui prend le dessus un peu dans tous les domaines. Là, c'était dans le domaine aérien. C'est très impressionnant. On va voir sur ce centre de Michael Essien la reprise de la tête d'Abdulmajid Waris, l'attaquant du Spartak Moscou. Magnifique intervention d'Ekrami qui était plus que nécessaire. De Wael Goma, le défenseur et capitaine qui fait partie de cette génération égyptienne appelée à éventuellement disputer une Coupe du Monde pour la première fois, et c'est la dernière chance surtout pour ces joueurs là. Attention à ce centre, ça ne donne rien. La génération des Wael Goma, Mohamed Aboutrika qui ont tout gagné, notamment la CAN à 3 reprises en 2006, 2008 et 2010. Beaucoup disaient d'ailleurs que pour ces joueurs-là, la dernière chance, c'était la Coupe du Monde de 2010 en Afrique du Sud. Et on se souvient de la terrible élimination de l'Égypte lors du match unique face à l'Algérie, joué sur terrain neutre au Soudan. C'était à l'automne 2009. Les deux équipes, Algérie et Égypte, avaient terminé à égalité totale dans leur groupe et le règlement prévoyait un match de barrage. Mais alors pour le coup, on parle de barrage à cette occasion là, des matchs africains, mais c'était un vrai barrage, un barrage sur un match. Sur terrain neutre, il y a eu un tirage au sort pour le choix du pays. L'Égypte avait remporté le tirage au sort et donc avait remporté le pays qu'elle avait choisi pour terrain neutre, c'est-à-dire le Soudan voisin. Et ça n'avait pas empêché l'Algérie de s'imposer 1-0, un match mythique dans l'histoire du football, dans l'histoire de la Coupe du Monde, même si ce n'était pas un match de phase finale. Et donc tout le monde se disait à l'époque pour l'Égypte, ça y est, c'est terminé. Ils n'iront pas, les joueurs de cette génération, Goma, Aboutrika et quelques autres, en Coupe du Monde. Et les voici de nouveau présents 4 ans après. Après 2 échecs pour participer ensuite au Cannes 2012 et 2013. C'était assez incroyable ces échecs consécutifs. Et ils se sont complètement relevés pour gagner les 6 matchs de leur groupe de qualification pour arriver à ces barrages. Dans leur poule, ils ont été très très forts. Alors certains diront qu'ils n'avaient pas le tirage au sort le plus difficile. C'est vrai, mais enfin, il fallait quand même gagner les matchs. 6 victoires, 2 fois contre la Guinée, 2 fois contre le Mozambique et 2 victoires également contre le Zimbabwe. 18 points, c'est la seule équipe à avoir fait ça. Évidemment, contre le Ghana, le niveau monte nettement. Un Ghana qui lui a terminé en tête de sa poule devant la Zambie, le Lesotho et le Soudan. Le Ghana a gagné 5 matchs sur 6, donc c'est également un parcours formidable. Il n'y a eu donc qu'une seule défaite, c'était en Zambie, le concurrent principal du Ghana dans le groupe. Les Ghanéens qui, pour se hisser à ce 3e tour, à ce match de barrage, on avait quand même la pression sur le dernier match de poule puisqu'il leur fallait ne pas perdre à la maison contre la Zambie. Ils avaient fait le travail en gagnant 2-1 pour bien participer à ces barrages. Le corner frappé par Souley Ali Muntari. Un ballon sortant mais pas assez levé, bien dégagé de la tête. Ayou qui va au combat de la tête contre Goma, c'est un exercice difficile. La récupération, il n'y a pas de hors-jeu pour Michael Essien. Essien dans la surface, Essien le crochet, superbe travail de Michael Essien. Il en fait beaucoup et ça termine quand même au fond des filets. Beaucoup de réussite pour le Ghana sur ce 2e but, car après une percée fantastique de Michael Essien, l'ancien joueur de l'Olympique Lyonnais a beaucoup hésité. Chérif Ekrami était venu le gêner et pourtant, après un contre favorable, le ballon termine au fond des filets pour le 2-0 du Ghana, alors qu'on n'a pas bouclé encore la première demi-heure du match. André Ayou qui initie ce travail, il lance bien Essien. Et le joueur de Chelsea s'y fait une série de dribbles assez incroyable qu'on ne lui connaît pas forcément. Et c'est un but contre son camp de Wael Goma. C'est terrible, ça tombe sur un des piliers de l'équipe, même s'il est en fin de carrière. Wael Goma, il a sauvé tant de situations dans sa longue et prestigieuse carrière. Et là, c'est lui qui pousse le ballon dans son propre but. Mais pouvait-il faire autrement? Ah, le coup dur pour le colosse égyptien. Et le début de match absolument rêvé pour le Ghana, qui est en train de se montrer beaucoup plus fort. Et alors qu'évidemment il y a des joueurs qui se sont fait mal, là tout le monde s'est jeté pour défendre, mais le but est bien validé, ça fait 2-0. Ah, Samoa Gyan est hors jeu, mais pas Essien qui surgit. Là le premier crochet est passant, mais là il en fait vraiment beaucoup, il veut dribbler le gardien en se ramenant le ballon. Et Goma qui essaye de revenir pour sauver son équipe, alors que juste avant Sam Gali n'avait pas réussi à le faire. Oh, il contre ce ballon en dernier, ça va être un but contre son camp, c'est certain. Et quelle fête pour les Ghanéens qui à ce moment-là, on ne peut pas vraiment le reprocher à ses supporters, doivent se voir au Brésil. Et il ne faut pas paniquer pour les Égyptiens, ils ont une première demi-heure très très compliquée. Mais il leur suffit par exemple de mettre un but et ça changerait beaucoup de choses. Perdre le match 2-0 ou 2-1, ça changerait absolument tout en la perspective du match retour. Le Ghana est encore loin d'être tranquille. C'est vrai que s'ils arrivaient à conserver ce score, les Ghanéens à 2-0, ça serait vraiment très bien avant d'aller en Égypte. D'ailleurs un match retour qui doit se jouer normalement au stade du 30 juin au Caire. On ne joue plus depuis longtemps, vous connaissez la situation très compliquée socialement, politiquement en Égypte. Les matchs des clubs en Coupe africaine se jouent souvent à huis clos. On ne joue plus au Caire. Et le Ghana a un petit peu peur d'ailleurs d'aller au Caire et a dit qu'il préférait jouer ailleurs. On joue notamment dans la station d'El Gouna ces derniers temps pour les matchs de club, et c'est là où le Ghana aurait pu jouer. Le Ghana a fait la demande à la FIFA, il n'a pas encore été pris de décision définitive. L'Égypte a assuré à la FIFA et aux Ghanéens que tout se passerait bien, qu'il n'y aurait aucun problème, que toutes les mesures de sécurité étaient prises pour la tenue de ce match retour au Caire. Match retour qui aura lieu le 19 novembre. En tout cas, le retour en sélection d'André Ayou et de Michael Essien porte ses fruits. On n'avait pas beaucoup vu ces dernières années. Souley Ali Muntari en sélection n'était pas toujours là. Il sort d'un doublé avec l'AC Milan, même si c'était une défaite lors de la défaite 3-2 sur la pelouse de la Juventus Turin. Il est en forme lui aussi, il l'a montré. Finalement, le côté le plus incertain de l'équipe ghanéenne, c'est sa défense, où il y a beaucoup d'absents. Mais comme les Black Stars jouent très haut, on n'a pas l'occasion de voir la défense mise à rude épreuve. Car il y a des absents importants. John Boy, le joueur du Stade Rennais, est blessé. Jonathan Mensah n'est pas là, tout comme Mohamed Rabiou. Et dans le secteur défensif, bon, c'est un joueur de côté qui peut jouer haut d'ailleurs, mais Harrison Afoul, le joueur de l'Espérance sportive de Tunis, lui, est suspendu. Donc il y avait beaucoup moins de choix pour les postes de latéraux ou dans la charnière centrale pour le sélectionneur ghanéen. Et puis un joueur, pour l'instant on a l'impression qu'il ne manque pas, mais dans le secteur offensif, qui peut faire des différences énormes. On a annoncé le retour de Kevin Prince Boateng, le joueur de Schalke 04, de Schalke Nulfir. Eh bien, il est malheureusement blessé. Ah, la frappe égyptienne, frappe dévissée de Mohamed Aboutreika, qui ne s'avère pas dangereuse. Avec Kevin Prince Boateng, qui après 2 ans d'absence en sélection doit faire son retour. C'est le parfum de la Coupe du Monde sûrement. Lui qui avait dit après la Coupe du Monde mettre un terme à sa carrière internationale alors qu'il est très jeune et se consacrer à son club, à l'époque l'AC Milan. Tout le monde a pensé, il ne faut peut-être pas exagérer quand même, ce n'est pas un joueur de 34 ans qui a tout donné à sa sélection et qui a bien le droit, après avoir tout vécu, d'arrêter et de continuer uniquement en club. C'est un joueur évidemment de grand talent et l'un des meilleurs talents de cette équipe ghanéenne. Et là, il est de retour, si le Ghana se qualifie, on a des chances de le voir à la Coupe du Monde. Il est espéré pour le match retour dans un mois. Mais malheureusement pour le public ghanéen, il ne le retrouve pas pour ce match aller blessé alors qu'il comptait bien être là. Un coup de pied arrêté, ça peut peut-être aider l'Égypte à revenir. Ça n'est pas cadré, cette remise directe. Avec la bonne sortie de Fatah Daouda, qui avec le peu de temps de jeu qu'il a ces derniers temps, je vous le disais, ne va pas prendre beaucoup de risques. Et là, sur ce genre d'intervention, c'est tout à fait ce dont sa défense a besoin. Inkoum. André Ayou. Joué derrière avec Rachid Soumaïla. Inkoum. Pour le Ghana, qui aura fait une première demi-heure, on ne va pas dire de rêve, mais presque, sans avoir subi d'occasion, en s'en étant soi-même procuré plusieurs et surtout en ayant réussi à en convertir 2 en but. Coup de sifflet de l'arbitre marocain Bouchaïb El Arrache. On va remettre Fatih et son bandage après le coup reçu tout à l'heure. Il est revenu sur le terrain. Celui qui arpente le couloir droit de sa sélection depuis de nombreuses années. Et Bob Bradley, comme ses joueurs, a dû prendre un mauvais coup sur la tête. Ne s'attendait sûrement pas à ça. Il a bien redonné confiance à cette formation égyptienne qui en manquait. Tout lui avait réussi pendant plusieurs années, puis d'un seul coup plus rien, avec des défaites incroyables, y compris à domicile. Et Bob Bradley est arrivé en 2011 avec la mission de relancer l'Égypte, de la mettre dans les bonnes conditions pour essayer d'accéder à la Coupe du Monde et aux phases finales des Cannes, raté pour 2013. Pour la prochaine, on ne connaît même pas encore le tirage au sort, mais il sera demandé à l'Égypte de se qualifier absolument pour la Cannes 2015, que vous suivrez bien sûr sur les antennes du groupe Canal. On suivra le parcours de l'Égypte avec intérêt, mais avant cela, donc, accéder à la Coupe du Monde. Ça s'annonce, on va pas dire plus compliqué que prévu, parce qu'on savait que ce serait compliqué contre le Ghana, mais même très difficile. Voilà, maintenant, il faut absolument marquer au moins un but à l'extérieur. Ballon récupéré par Aboutrika. La bonne passe pour Mohamed Salah. La frappe sans conviction de l'attaquant du FC Bâle. Côté droit, la montée de Samuel Inkoum. Et le centre contré pour Inkoum. Bob Bradley qui a l'expérience de la Coupe du Monde puisqu'il était le sélectionneur des États-Unis lors de la phase finale de la dernière Coupe du Monde en Afrique du Sud. Il avait d'ailleurs à cette occasion affronté le Ghana en Coupe du Monde. C'était un 8e de finale. Tout le monde se souvient du quart entre le Ghana et l'Uruguay, mais en 8e il y avait eu un Ghana-États-Unis. Bob Bradley était sur le banc américain et c'est le Ghana qui avait donc gagné 2-1 après prolongation. Il y a eu un contact et un coup franc intéressant pour l'Égypte. Ça peut permettre de se relancer. Et Wael Goma va monter. Alors souvent dans ce type de match, quand il y a un joueur connu, un grand joueur d'une équipe qui marque contre son camp, il y a des chances qu'il marque pour son équipe maintenant. En tout cas, c'est un habitué des buts de la tête. Wael Goma. Et c'est Mohamed Aboutreika qui va frapper, l'un des plus grands joueurs africains de ces 10 dernières années. Il frappe la tête au deuxième poteau. Oh, que c'était bien frappé. Et la reprise de la tête ratée. Quel dommage pour l'Égypte. Voilà une véritable occasion. La tête de Mohamed Naguib, montée de la défense. Finalement, ce n'était pas pour Goma, mais pour Naguib au deuxième poteau. Bon, Daouda aurait été battu si la tête avait été cadrée à bout portant. Et ça n'est pas le cas. Quelle occasion. Voilà pourquoi le Ghana est encore très loin du Brésil. L'Égypte qui parfois obtient des résultats au long cours. On ne la voit pas venir et puis elle revient. C'était Soliman qui était bien lancé avec une déviation. Il y a du mieux pour l'Égypte. Achour, on n'a pas encore beaucoup vu au milieu du terrain. Il n'a pas pu s'exprimer. Bien bloqué par les Ghanéens. C'est une bonne idée de leur part parce que c'est la plaque tournante, le maître à jouer de son club à Al-Ahly et de la sélection. Rassam Achour, le numéro 13 égyptien. Et pour l'instant, Muntari et Essien s'occupent bien de lui. Sous les Muntari, bousculé par Walid Soliman. Ouais, la puissance encore qui fait très mal. Il y a beaucoup plus de puissance, on le savait avant le match. Beaucoup plus de la part des Ghanéens. C'est une de leurs marques de fabrique. Et dans ce domaine, ils font très mal à l'Égypte. Ça provoque un carton jaune pour Hassam Ghali. Mais que pouvait-il faire face à Samoa Gyan? Sam Ghali, que vous connaissez sûrement si vous suivez le football européen des années 2000 au Feyenoord Rotterdam, à Tottenham donc, pendant quelques saisons, même s'il n'a pas beaucoup joué. Il était rentré dans son club de Al-Ahly, le club qu'il avait formé, le célèbre club égyptien, avant de repartir cette année à Liers en Belgique, en Sam Ghali. Coup franc extrêmement bien placé pour le Ghana. En vue comme ils sont partis, pourquoi pas marquer un troisième but avant la mi-temps. Avec ce ballon enroulé et c'est contré. Avec que les siens du droit, il y avait la solution Muntari du gauche. C'est le milieu de terrain historique du Ghana avec, il y a quelques années maintenant, Stéphane Apia, tous les trois. Avec un Muntari beaucoup plus jeune, là ça faisait quelque chose de terrible pour les adversaires. C'était l'équipe qui avait réussi à se qualifier pour sa première Coupe du Monde, la Coupe du Monde 2006, qui jouait avec ce milieu de terrain effrayant, Muntari, Essien et Stéphane Apia. Salah, Mohamed Salah, qui va subir une obstruction.